widening secondary sanctions for countries and financial institutions that continue to do business with Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent warning that there's no gray area left in this conflict.
We know who they are. They know who they are. So when the hammer of U.S. Treasury actions falls upon them, they will have no one to blame but themselves.
A trade war brewing within the U.S. and Canada. Canada says it will implement its own tariffs on U.S. goods. That after the Trump administration's 50% hike on some Canadian goods went into effect Saturday. Fire crews in Nevada are battling an out-of-control wildfire northwest of Reno. The Hawk Fire erupted over the weekend and has triggered thousands of evacuations. That blaze scorching 15,000 acres so far. And extreme heat in California's Death Valley National Park is blamed for the death of a French tourist who set out to walk after car troubles, temperatures reaching 116. This is ABC News. The governor of Indiana calling for an investigation into the power company with thousands of residents and businesses in Gary without power for nearly 2 weeks following severe storms. ABC's Alex Perez says crews are still trying to clear much of the debris.
Getting all of this debris cleaned up is also very important. Many residents have joined a class action lawsuit accusing the utility company of not doing enough to prepare for those violent storms. The utility company says they are working around the clock to get everybody back on, and they anticipate that could be by some point tomorrow.
In Massachusetts, the trial of Lindsay Clancy is nearing an end with closing arguments set to begin this week. The mother is charged with killing her 3 children in 2023. Defense attorneys claim Clancy suffered from postpartum psychosis. Ukraine marking Independence Day and 35 years since breaking away from Russia. UK's new Prime Minister Andy Burnham today on his first visit to Ukraine, showing solidarity in helping Ukraine defend against Russian attacks. Michelle Franzen.
Hundreds of lightning strikes over the weekend have sparked more wildfires. More on that coming up, but first a check on your KIRO Newsradio traffic. Overall, we're looking pretty good. We do have a new collision as you head into Olympia South 5 just before Highway 101. They just moved it to the right shoulder, but it's left you with a pretty thick backup starting back at Martin Way. Here in Seattle, South 5 just a little crowded from Northgate into downtown. North 5 looking good. No significant backups. You'll jam up just briefly at 520. And if you're heading over Snoqualmie Pass, both directions of I-90 right now have road work going on through Thursday. So this is going to block one lane westbound between mileposts 47 and 54 and up to 2 lanes at times on eastbound 90 between mileposts 38 and 46. Right now I'm just seeing 1 lane blocked here on eastbound 90, but there are some pretty significant backups. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. More than 50 wildfires broke out across Washington and Oregon this weekend, sparked by a barrage of lightning. The Northwest Interagency Coordination Center says nearly 700 lightning strikes were reported in Washington on Saturday alone, with another 176 in Oregon. The biggest fire is the Coal Wash Fire in Yakima and Benton counties. It started as a 25-acre brush fire Saturday morning near Mabton and exploded to nearly 39,000 acres by yesterday afternoon. That's more than 60 square miles. Level 3 Go Now evacuations are in effect for parts of both counties, and at least 1 home has been destroyed. Authorities are ordering evacuations for a new fire called the Goat Fire in the Cle Elum Valley. The fire is burning in the northern part of the valley, and officials say there is a significant risk to people in that area. They issued a Level 3 Go Now evacuation advisory for residents and communities accessed by Salmon-Lasac Road, north of Forest Service Road 4308, also known as French Cabin Creek Road. That's an area just north of another wildfire, the Three Queens Fire, that crews have been battling since mid-July. A deadly shooting in Olympia is now under investigation after 2 people were killed Friday in what police believe was a shootout. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports.
Police believe some sort of argument broke out between a 20-year-old man and a 17-year-old teenage boy, which quickly led to gunfire. A person off camera told us he heard up to 6 shots.
Olympia Basin Route, West Side Lane Restaurant, 2200 Garfield Street Northwest.
Upon arrival, police say they found the 20-year-old man dead along with multiple shell casings. Police say the 17-year-old who was also shot was taken to a nearby hospital by a witness. That teen later died in the hospital.
You might want to fill up before Labor Day. Gas Buddy says Americans could see the national average top $4 a gallon on the holiday for the first time ever. The current Labor Day record is $3.83 a gallon back in 2012. Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan says when you combine Iran, Ukraine hitting Russian refineries, and hurricane season, the fuel market is tougher to predict than ever.
It's like predicting a room full of levers and being able to predict which levers are going to move all at the same time.
Oh, okay. Meanwhile, the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve keeps shrinking. It's down to about 295 million barrels and dropping by about 5 million a week. DeHaan says that release should wrap up in the next 6 to 8 weeks, but gas prices could stay unpredictable for a while. Your KIRO News Radio weather, warm and sunny through most of the week. Tomorrow we'll notice some wildfire haze moving in again, 78 for the high today. Tuesday, 86, and then Wednesday, 78. Thursday is when we might see some showers, mostly cloudy conditions, and 74 for the high. Mostly sunny and 68 right now, downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Behold, a fiendish masterpiece from the bowels of hell! Mondays, boy, I hate Mondays. They make me so steamed. Weekends, I go for the weekends! Son of a
Welcome to the show. Happy Monday to all of you out there. Hope you guys are having a kickoff to a great week. We are so close to the start of school. For many parents, they're very happy about it. It's turning into fall. I noticed this weekend. The weather's starting to turn a little bit. I'm loving it. Jake Skorheim here. Spike O'Neill, welcome to the show.
I love that song. I love how we start the Monday shows.
Kicks us off in a happy mood.
It really does. It's like I don't know if there's a dopamine or endorphin rush that my brain gets.
Yeah, all of it.
From that, but I thank you brought that to our world, and I thank you.
I did not make it, but I will take credit.
But
so you're welcome.
I'd never heard it prior.
Yeah.
You bring it to the show.
Funny SNL bit from way back in the day. Will Ferrell, Garth Brooks. Very, very funny. All right. Speaking of funny things, we got so much stuff on the show today. Honestly, I'm teasing ahead right now because I do not want you guys to miss what I think is really going to be possibly the best show that we have ever done, which is a high water mark. So here's what's happening. We're going to get into some stuff here in just a few minutes where we're going to talk about lots of stuff about transit. There's some numbers out about transit and light rail and all these things. And brother, business is not a booming. With Sound Transit.
You can't fight the numbers, they always say, right?
Well, numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
So we're going to talk about that in just a minute, but later in the show, there's a guy who posted a billboard of his own, which is really interesting. And he seems like a nice fella from what I've heard. We reached out to him because he literally provided, let me read you this sign. It says, would the last taxpayer to leave the Emerald City change the name to the Blue Tarp City of thieves, druggies, and shooters? Paid for by V.A. Fleming, and then he provides his phone number on the billboard. We have it up on if you're live streaming us right now, you can see it. And I'm like, what kind of a crazy person provides his phone number for people to reach out? But this guy did. And so I sent it to Mike Siebert, who's producing for us today. Laura's out, but Mike's in. And I said, hey, can you get this guy? Here's his phone number. It's on the billboard.
It's got to be disconnected by now.
Must be.
I mean, this guy must be inundated with people who want to help, maybe.
We reached out.
I would hope.
Or people who disagree. I don't know.
Right.
So we reached out to him, and he's coming on the show at 2:30. And I have been well informed that he is a nice. Is he an old man?
He seems older. He
man.
He seems of retirement age.
Living in the city will age a man. I can tell you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All the ducking and dodging.
It's like that guy, the police chief. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Heat? Have you seen that
sure.
with Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock?
Yep,
and then he says that he's 40 years old or something, and he's like clearly looks like he's 65.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy's going to come on with us at 2:30. It's very interesting, and his sign harkens back to another sign that's famous in Seattle lore, the last person to leave Seattle, turn off the light sign, which I thought was done in earnest. But as I have read from historylink.org and also a Felix Bunnell piece that he wrote from mynorthwest.com, that was actually tongue-in-cheek at the time. It was actually put up by two real estate agents who were trying to make a joke out of the idea that Seattle was just like, drying up and that nobody was interested in moving there, because they found personally, as real estate agents in the early 70s, that wasn't the case and that there were still people willing to buy homes. And so they put it up, but it quickly kind of backfired on them. And listen to this. This is from Felix's piece a couple years back. He wrote this. He says, after a few days, the mood began to change, McDonald told the Times. This is one of the guys who put it up. His name was Bob McDonald. It became apparent that not everybody thought it was funny, particularly the news media. So they basically, people were taking it as something that was really being felt and has since kind of gone into local folklore. And Seattle is kind of that. In that time period, Boeing went from which is also interesting, because we're going to talk about Boeing just a little bit, but at the time, Boeing had a massive layoff.
Tens of thousands.
Well, this is in the late
right?
60s. Yeah, listen to these numbers. In 1967, Boeing had 100,800 employees. And when they started, and then they did their big layoffs, and this was called, I think it might have been called the big layoff. Anyway, they dwindled that number down to 38,690 people by April of 1971. So obviously a big change at the time.
It's almost that's 2/3. Right, almost 2/3 of the entire workforce.
Yeah. And the reason behind that, I did some further digging into that. It was kind of interesting because there was this big push at the time to make investments and try to, there was government funding that was being invested in trying to compete with the Concorde. Do you remember the supersonic plane?
Yeah, the French, yeah.
So they were trying to do something similar. They're trying to force it through with government dollars, and then those dollars dried up, and then they had this big thing. It was called the Boeing bust, locally known as the Boeing bust. Anyway, all that to say, we got another sign, and we thought we'd talk to this guy. I don't think he's doing it in jest. I think this is probably something he really feels, given the fact that he says, would the last taxpayer to leave the Emerald City change the name to the Blue Tarp City of thieves, druggies, and shooters? That doesn't seem like a huge punchline to me.
No, it's a cry for help. That's what it is.
Sounds like it.
You remember the Dunn Lumber owner put up the sign?
Yeah, about prostitutes.
The trafficking. Exactly. This is the citizenry doing what they feel they have to do because they feel local government isn't listening to them, addressing their needs.
It's also a testament to the billboard business. It works.
It is. They say it's an old medium.
You know what? You go to Los Angeles, billboards work. You drive down Sunset Avenue, billboard, advertising new TV shows that they want you to watch.
Go to Times Square.
Times Square.
It's a living, breathing billboard.
So we're going to talk to this guy at 2:30. His name is V.A. Fleming. Seems like a good old dude. Or a very young dude who's lived a hard life. We don't know.
On Aurora.
We'll find out.
Either way, he's a sweetheart. I think we're going to have a great conversation with him.
He's just a cutie pie. Just kidding. I don't know anything about it.
I bet he could tell stories of what Aurora was like I'm sure he lives in the area.
He probably is going to look back fondly. He's going to go it was way better.
It was the Pacific Coast Highway right before I-5. 99 ran from Tijuana to Vancouver.
Yeah.
That's why it used to be all the
Now we've brought Tijuana up north. And now you can find it right on Aurora Avenue.
Yeah, you
don't have to go to Tijuana. You don't have to go down Mexico way anymore.
No, I wish if there was cheap dentistry along Aurora, I'd be one. No.
There you go. I bet you could find some bargain ones. I don't know if you'd want to go into them, but I bet you could find some. All right. We have some other stuff we got to get to. This is going to inspire a question of the day here in just a second. Washington Policy Center. Spike, I think you and I are going to, I don't know how you're going to feel about this one, to be honest, but I found this fascinating. Charles Prestrud, who is the Director of Transportation Policy at the Washington Policy Center. We have Todd Myers on from the Washington Policy Center on a bunch.
Yeah. This is Charles's specialty.
Yes.
Is transportation.
So he's looking at these transportation numbers, and we talk about it a lot because, if you live in the taxing district, you're paying a lot of money for a train, you're likely probably not utilizing as much as you're paying for it would be the fairest way that I can say that. He looked at some of these numbers, and let me tell you what. I'm going to break this down for you. This is wild. Ridership numbers are pretty bad. In fact, they're down almost 10% since 2015. Actually, more than 10%, 10.5% lower in 2025 than they were in 2015. And the crazy part about this is, and we can get into the kind of the nitty-gritty in a second, how they count ridership and all these different things. The interesting thing about this is that we have increased our population by 500,000 people in that same time period. So we've had a 14%, was it 14 or 16? 14 or 16% population growth, and we've had a 10.5% ridership decrease across all of transit. When I say all of transit, this is Metro, Sound Transit, which obviously gets talked about a lot because of light rail, Community Transit, Pierce Transit, and Everett Transit. In 2015, total ridership across all of those was 176,347,201. In 2025, that number is 157,700,428, so down 10.5%. And the question is this going in the right direction? Which seems like a silly question. Spike, take it away.
The question is, the question to the audience is, are we getting our money's worth?
Well, it's kind of to you. We'll lead to the audience question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is it worth the investment?
Yeah.
In the short term, no. Obviously, clearly not. But clearly, it's a long-term investment. Clearly, it's an investment for the future.
I hope it's something.
Well, that's what me too. Too. And we took this leap of faith under kind of shady, if not false, premise.
Always
or
a good
pretenses,
way to take a leap of faith,
right? Well, when it was pitched to the people, way back when, it was a third of what it's going to end up ballooning to be.
$50 billion, now it's over $185 billion.
And it's going to deliver less service than was promised.
You're selling this well. I think this is a good thing.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is that the jury won't be in for another 30 years on this.
Come on.
I think
the jury's in.
I'm trying to find the cart with the train car, the empty train car with a silver lining.
The ghost train car?
Yeah, with a silver lining.
I see driving in every single day.
I mean, here's the drill. Was it poorly conceived or at least short-sightedly conceived? Probably. Was it underbid and overpromised? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Will the city's region continue to grow and it's always going to be a necessary part of our transportation collection?
Is it your opinion that it's necessary?
Absolutely.
Why is it absolutely necessary?
I think as you see the growth of coverage from the lines from Pierce County up to eventually Everett, right across the lake, and maybe even in a heaven forbid Ballard, let alone West Seattle.
Yeah.
You see all this growth that's going along these spurs.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about whole cities popping up along I-5.
Sure.
Massive communities, thousands and tens of thousands of residencies that are popping up.
Yeah.
These people are coming. If we didn't do this, we didn't build this spur, probably at a financial disaster, let alone loss. If we didn't build these spurs,
then they'd be in no worse position than they are now.
No, of course they would.
Nobody rides the train.
Those people, the people that are already on the train. I know it's not enough people. You're right, but you talk because a couple things. Talk about long-term habits.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about getting people to change their long-term commuting habits.
Yeah,
they take time. It takes time to turn people around.
How much time?
Well, the line just got open from Linwood to Federal Way within the last 5 years.
Okay.
Then I think maybe even a generation of changing how people view light rail it wasn't even a real. Well, that's when you're planning a city's long-term transportation needs. Mm-hmm. You have to make big bets. You have to think long-term. It's easy to look at these numbers and say, "Look, ridership is down. It's not worth the money. It's over
decreasing.
budget."
It's not increasing. It's decreasing.
Well, those numbers are an interesting.
Let's get into those
amalgamation
numbers.
of bus routes that are no longer being used.
Yep, which is why they think that Sound Transit numbers are the best of the bad numbers, because the no longer available bus routes have now been shifted over to Sound Transit light rail.
That's why those routes are no longer available. They have rerouted routes and eliminated routes to funnel things into that long-term solution.
They're cannibalizing themselves.
Yeah. Well,
that's not a good thing.
It's not a bad thing.
It's a horrible thing. You're still investing money in the old thing, and the new thing is doing horribly. The whole thing is kind of a fraud.
I wouldn't go there. Would you
continue investing?
You're raising kids, right?
Yeah.
If the kid gets in jail once or twice along the way, maybe crashes a couple of cars along the route.
Okay.
But turns out to be a pretty good guy who gives you grandsons or granddaughters. Still a good long-term investment. Probably wasn't worth the money you spent.
I think the comparison and the analogy of my children to Sound Transit light rail is the worst analogy you've ever given on the show.
It's the desperation.
It's just
you can smell
horrible.
You've
taken something that I love more than life itself, and you've turned it into something else, which is obligatory and forced on us. Per household, it's like $1,700. If you're in King County, it's like $2,300 per household
think of it as
year.
A bunch of babysitters, all these people that pay in the transit.
Oh my God.
I'm just trying to find an analogy that speaks to long-term policies and long-term planning for a region.
I'll tell you a better analogy. Okay. Cancer. That's what it is. It is.
Okay, tell me more.
It's cancer. Here's how they met. And let's look at some of these things. Total
cancer grows at a phenomenal rate.
Cancer
Sound transit
grows,
is decreasing.
Cancer grows and it consumes
Sound transit
the host.
is the cure
Yes.
for cancer.
And no, it's not the cure for cancer. No, sound transit is absolutely
Take that one out of context, would you,
a
Nick, please?
disease. Listen to this. All right, here's
Go
the three
on.
ways that they categorize the boardings. They have total boardings. This is commonly reported. This is total boardings, which counts passengers each time they board a bus or a rail car. As measured by total boardings, transit ridership in the Puget Sound. This is all from Charles Prestrude's really fantastic piece of Washington Post. Go check it out.
We don't agree on a lot of things, but this is a very well-reported and well-researched piece.
Well, it just gives you...
Absolutely.
Here's the thing. You cannot deny the facts. These are the facts.
Numbers don't lie, you said.
Numbers don't lie. Yeah. Puget Sound region was down 10.5% in 2025 than it was in 2015. The decrease in ridership was despite transit funding, which grew from $2.6 billion in 2015 to $4.7 billion in 2024. All right, here's another way that they categorize transit. Passenger miles. A better measure of transit's impact is passenger miles, which captures the distance passengers travel on transit as well as reflecting passenger volume. So that's like how much somebody is traveling. He said of all the agencies in the Puget Sound region, they all reported fewer passenger miles in 24 than they did in 2015. Even Sound Transit, Charles writes, reported a 9% decrease in passenger miles over those 10 years. He says this is all the more concerning because our population has increased by 14%. So it's even worse than that. And then the last way that they categorize how to measure ridership is mode share. Now, this is a way of measuring transit performance across the board. So these are daily trips used on public transportation. This could be Sound Transit.
You take a bus to the train,
This could be bus to the train, which counts as 2 rides, which they will then count as 2 rides. And they will tell you, hey, guess what? We've got 2 riders. That's the same person. So they're counting the same person multiple times.
I get it.
All right. Here's the other thing that's very interesting. Transit mode share today has decreased and now constitutes less than 3% of all trips. And light rail carries less than 1% of the region's trips. Less than 1%. Now, they've invested more. This is going to be $185 billion if they stick to their budget right now. Up from 53 originally, 185 currently, probably north of $200 billion, less than 1%. Good or bad investment? I'm asking the audience, 888-973-5476. Spike, what say you?
It's a good investment gone bad. I'm trying to find a way to phrase this out. It's
so yes, good investment for you.
Yeah, I think it's long term. It's a good investment. I really do.
$1,700 per household, which includes. Here's the part that's like people don't really understand, maybe, or at least I didn't, like how they break down how this money is taxed. Some of it comes from your if you own a house. Some of it comes from your property tax.
Yeah.
But they are limited in their ability to raise those. Otherwise, that would be much, much higher. So in Snohomish County, for instance, you pay $187 a year. King County, $220 a year, and Pierce County, $140 a year on average. The other thing, though, that's crazy, from Coke to cars, like a bottle of Coke to a brand new car, you're paying a 1.4% sales tax to Sound Transit every time you make a transaction. Did you realize that?
Sure. No, I read
every single time.
No, I thought that you say the Coke tax, the sugar tax, right?
No.
That's
anything you buy. No, 1.5%, 1.4% is tacked on to anything you purchase.
Every sales tax.
Every purchase you make.
Every sales tax has a 1.4% going toward
Sound Transit.
Okay. Wow.
Doesn't that seem pretty regressive on people who don't ride it?
Well, I don't know.
Just say yes. Just say yes. It's okay to say yes. It's okay to say yes.
Not if I don't feel it. I'm not going to mail the show in.
All evidence to the contrary, but it's okay to say yes. Okay, so
it would be my assumption, and I think perception, that people at the bottom end of the earnings scale are probably more likely to ride public transportation than those affluent users.
98% of regional trips are people who are just driving in their cars. 2% are on transit. Less than 1% is on light rail. That means 98% of people in the lower income tax bracket are not using light rail. In fact, I bet you it's actually fairly affluent, if I had to guess. There's probably people living close to the downtown city core. They probably live in more expensive areas. I bet you they're riding light rail more than
light rail. Yeah, light rail probably, but Sound Transit, I think the lower income earners are be on buses more than the affluent.
Well,
I would think.
In all, it's only about it's less than 3% across the board.
I'm with you.
But you support it.
I do, long term.
All right.
My kids aren't a bargain, but I love them.
I want you to keep your money. That's what I want. I want you, who's riding in your car, to not have to pay for this silly boondoggle.
I want you to pay twice.
I know you do. All right.
You going to ask?
Speaking of paying, here's our question. Do you guys think it's a good investment? Fair question. You might be a Spike. You might be a Jake. I don't know how you feel about this, but we'd love to hear. 888-973-5476. Hit us up. We're going to get back to this at 1:30, and no holds barred. You guys can, anything you want to say, we're going to read it to the best of our ability as long as it's radio safe. We'll bleep out the bad stuff. All right, when we come back, this is really fascinating. Seattle Times took a deep dive on big business, corporate tax breaks. You might be surprised to learn that Washington State is number one, which Seattle Times thinks is a bad deal. We will talk about this next and get into some of the nitty-gritty. Spike, I'm very interested in your take on this.
I appreciate that.
And
I yours.
And I yours.
Yes.
And back at you, sir.
Good, sir.
We're gonna dive down a rabbit hole.
Happy Monday.
We're gonna dive down a Morpheus rabbit hole when we get back. You're gonna like it. Stick around.
Take the red pill.
This hour is brought to you by Sunset Auto Family.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula.
It's got to be a white man that I'm voting for in 2028.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Kamala Harris, I'm not voting for you. AOC, I ain't voting for you. We can't take no more chances. It's going to be a white man that I'm voting for in 2028.
I think that's so sad without even knowing.
If you think that there's somebody that you believe that can win in 2028, you let me know.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
It's Jonathan here from DUI Heroes, and I'm here today with a teenager who's just about to get her driver's license, and she's got some questions for me about driving, alcohol, and how to not end up in my office.
Is it okay for teens to drink, even if they don't get drunk and drive?
So in this state, the legal drinking age is 21. It's never a good idea for anybody under the age of 21 to be consuming alcohol in any circumstance. But it's even more dangerous if then you make the decision to get behind the wheel. And most people don't know that when it comes to DUIs, everybody thinks the limit is 0.08, but not if you're under 21. If you're under 21, the limit is 0.02, which means you could find yourself at 0.02, 0.03 with a DUI sitting in my office when you're not drunk, but because you drank before you were able to. That was a great question. And if you or any of your friends find yourselves this summer in contact with law enforcement, please give us a call at 1-800-DUI-HERO or online at DUIHeroes.com.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop. Visit the official store of the Seattle Seahawks, located at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton.
There's always something to discover at LeMay, America's Car Museum, Family Steam Days, where kids get in free, and Tacoma Cars and Coffee welcoming all makes and models. New experiences, great people, and tons of fun. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. President Trump's 50% tariff on Canadian goods kicked in over the weekend, and local businesses are already feeling it. KOMO News talked to the owner of Breakaway Hockey Company in Mountlake Terrace. The shop sits inside Olympic View Arena and gets most of its gear from Canada. Part owner Dan Zinsmeyer says this is round 2. Vendors jacked prices up as much as 30% under last year's tariffs and never brought them back down. He says he wants customers to get the best deal, but the new tariffs make that a challenge. The 50% tariff covers about $20 billion in Canadian products, everything from hockey sticks to dairy to building materials. Canada is threatening to hit back with retaliatory tariffs on American goods starting September 8th. The Tacoma area team of the Little League World Series took its first loss yesterday. Paseo Verde from Henderson, Nevada beat Soundview 5-0 in Williamsport. Soundview now moves to the elimination side of the bracket. They'll play a loser-out game tomorrow at noon on ESPN. Seattle police are investigating a massive shootout on Alki Avenue that left property damage, but remarkably no reported injuries. SPD Sergeant Patrick Mouchard says officers were called to the 1100 block of Alki Avenue Southwest near Hamilton View Park for shots fired Friday morning just after 3 o'clock.
A couple people said they saw at least 2 individuals shooting back and forth at each other. They said there were 12 shots fired. When officers went to go take a closer look, they had found that over 71 shots had been fired.
Police have no suspect information other than a red Honda reported speeding away from the area. Anyone with information should call SPD or 911. Wildfire crews are gaining ground on Washington's highest priority fire. KIRO News Radio's Tim Hull with the update.
The coal wash fire blew up over the weekend near Mabton between Yakima and the Tri-Cities. Fire Information Officer Jody Walker says winds have died down, allowing fire crews to make progress over the past day.
A good day today is going to look much the same. Those winds staying calm so that our crews can get out there, get boots on the ground, and really take a look at any hot spots that are remaining, really get the lines secured around the perimeter.
All level 3 evacuations have already been lowered to level 2. 1 home and 2 outbuildings have been destroyed, but there have been no injuries. Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
Hey, check in Wall Street where numbers are mixed this afternoon. The Dow up 166, S&P 500 up 17, or down rather 17. The NASDAQ down 155. And now your traffic brought to you by Harborstone Credit Union. All in all, we're looking good out there. South 5 a little crowded from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle just just a 20-minute commute. North 5 starting to fill in between the West Seattle Bridge and downtown. Nothing too heavy. Revive I-5 backup, though, does jam up there, approaching 520. Tacoma to Olympia at 45 minutes. We're crowded from Lacey into Olympia. We cleared that earlier crash near the 101 exit. This report brought to you by Harborstone Credit Union, where you can earn up to $30 a month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today at harborstone.com/cash. And now your weather, mostly sunny and 78 this afternoon. 86 tomorrow with a mix with a little smoky haze. Wednesday morning clouds, afternoon sun and 78. And Thursday looks to be cloudy with a chance of showers and a high around 74. 71 and mostly sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, this is a very interesting topic we're about to get into. It's one of those topics where it gives you the opportunity to do a lot of Googling, which is always fun. You kind of go down the rabbit hole, which reminds me of Morpheus, which is kind of fun.
I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
How deep the rabbit hole goes. Whenever you start talking about corporate tax rates, people just kind of naturally, they go, and they fall asleep. So you got to come up with catchy headlines. Danny Westneat wrote a column for the Seattle Times, and he says in his piece, here, I'm going to read you the first 3 lines of his column. Would this be a column or would this be it's not an article, right? Because he's an opinion writer.
He's a columnist.
So do we call it, this would be a column?
It's a column.
I just want to make sure I'm referring to it as the right thing. I don't want to sound like a
fact,
rube.
It's fact heavy.
Okay.
It's evidence is in this piece, but it's his opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's a great way to put it. He says, it's been a while since anything about the Seattle area has been at the top of one of those rankings lists, but we're number 1 again for corporate tax breaks, that is. It's a little software company, Microsoft, that tops this ranking. A tax policy nonprofit, Washington, D.C., poured over the financial statements of more than 330 American companies to compose a top tax avoiders list. Microsoft came out number 1. The Redmond tech giant set a record for scoring what is believed to be the largest corporate tax break in U.S. history. Brrr. You want to know the number? $18.7 billion. Billion. Now, the piece is written, would you say it's fair to assess that the piece is written from the perspective of this is kind of unfair that Microsoft, which makes so much money, can also get such a big tax break, and their effective tax rate, which he says should be somewhere around 21%, is actually going to be 2.4%. Is that?
Yeah, those are facts. I think he's saying that it's, well, the bigger point of the article is that we just crossed $40 trillion, the federal debt.
Well, yeah, no, I understand. I understand federal debt, but this is about Washington State.
Yeah,
he's talking about Washington State.
Yeah, but fair enough.
And totally fair. I'm with you on the federal debt. That's the number 1 thing they should be worrying about, and they should be like trying to hack away.
Well, he's saying that the fact that these companies, which the corporate tax rate is 21%, but after loopholes which were extended and write-offs which were extended, in fact, enriched, and they pay what 2%,
2.4%
effective corporate tax rate,
close to 2%.
That's how we're blowing up the deficit. That's the point. It's not about whether tax rates are fair or deserve it, or if they put enough benefit back into the economy to warrant these federally.
Well, those, of course, are all part of the conversation.
They are, yeah.
I think people like you and me have. As
Yeah.
we read articles like this, we go like, well, isn't Microsoft a good investment in tax breaks in Washington State? I would argue yes. They employ close to 55,000 people. They pay a very handsome salary on average. Do you know what the average salary for a Microsoft employee is? It's phenomenal.
I bet it's $250,000.
You're very close, $230,000 when you factor in retirement benefits.
That's why I decided not to go there. I didn't want to live that life.
Smart.
I didn't want to be that guy.
Very smart move.
Thank you.
Very smart.
I feel grounded.
Here's the thing about this whole thing that he doesn't really talk about. I mean, he briefly mentions that there's a lot of ways he talks about loopholes and write-offs and things like that. It's not a loophole to make investments in your company. Wouldn't you say that's fair?
Absolutely.
Microsoft, he didn't put this in the article, but I actually went and found this. Do you know how much Microsoft has spent just last year, invested in new technology, capital expenditures, expanding business in 2026?
How much did they spend expanding business and investing into growth of their company and their employees' well-being?
Into growth of infrastructure, which includes really good, high-paying jobs and future investments for the company. Just in 2026.
Let's see, how much did they make again? 400 million?
And this is
400 billion?
This again is just in 2026, which is the calendar year is not even over yet.
I bet they spent $40 billion.
$145 billion so far.
Wow.
They're on track to spend $190 billion in 2026. They're making heavy, heavy investments. And that really brings about the reason for their low tax liability.
Very true. But where did the bulk of that investment go to? Do you know?
Yeah, a lot of it went to data centers.
And AI, AI data centers.
You're saying that as if it's a bad thing.
Well, when you say you're investing in the company, and you're right, it is investing in the company.
Yeah.
But it's not really investing in any employees. It's not really investing.
Of course it is.
How it is? It's with 7 guys who work at a data center.
It's not SimCity. You don't just snap your finger and a data center pops
well,
up.
that's short. That's construction investment, right?
But isn't that
infrastructure
local?
investment.
So the
okay, I'll give you that. It is.
Well,
I
would say.
I mean, I just see it as a short-term thing. I mean, just like the tax benefit is a short-term, one-round thing. This massive investment they're doing for data centers, they're not going to continue to invest that level of
they're not
money
doing.
into.
They're not going to do any in Washington because they're trying to outlaw data centers in Washington.
Nice.
So that money's not even going to come into Washington. Those would be good jobs. I saw this article. We talked about this a little bit on Friday. That opinion piece from New York Times. I think I sent it to you, but it was an opinion piece written by a electrical worker, part of it's part of their in general for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. They had this big statement. They're like, "Listen, guys, the demonization of AI data centers is taking the wrong approach. It is literally completely propping up the trade industry. The jobs that they're now able to get. I mean, like literally, like 2x the amount of hours that electrical
I did
workers.
see that piece. Yeah.
Don't you think that is a valuable contributor to like society?
Yeah, no,
local unions have good paying jobs.
I'll give you that, but I would say that the vilification of data centers is kind of a whoa, let's just pump the brakes a little bit with regard to the impact on surrounding communities from an ecological and an environmental standpoint, economic, and environmental standpoint. I mean, because what pauses are asking for is let's take a look at how this affects our community before we say all in for things.
If I were them, I would just be looking towards Quincy, and I would say, look at how Quincy is literally being sprayed with money, all new infrastructure, half
better
their
than
tax base.
pesticide that the growers were using. That's true. Yes. Better for the water base than insecticide.
Isn't it?
It really is.
Can we come back to this?
Sure,
There's another
yeah,
interesting aspect of this the Seattle Times does not mention that I think is going down the rabbit hole even further.
I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
It is
the Seattle Times.
Very
so
interesting.
Let's not act too surprised.
Yes.
They're not covering a certain side
Absolutely.
of the story.
When we come back, we're going to blow your mind on this story.
Ooh.
I don't want to overstate it.
Well,
but this is going to be something.
I think you tamped it down with mind blown.
This will be something that you will go home tonight and you will be like, Seattle Times.
We're giving you water cooler talk.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, okay.
Some you can take to the water cooler, some you can all go,
You
Seattle Times.
Silly little leftist
What are you doing? All right, we're going to get into that when we come back. We got some fun numbers for you. It's just really great. You're going to like it because you're not getting it all when you read that Seattle Times piece. But we're going to give it to you here. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula, weekdays 9 to noon.
Starbucks is going to stop covering GLP-1 medications for weight loss. If you're on it, you know that these drugs per month can be like up to $1,000 if you don't have coverage.
When have we ever believed that pharmaceutical companies or any other company is going to make less profit to help the people out?
Watch live or later on the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel.
Every parent hopes their child finds a place where they belong. A place where teachers notice when they're having a tough day, where coaches become mentors, where classmates become lifelong friends. At Archbishop Murphy High School, education is personal. With small classes, 4 full-time counselors, exceptional academics, championship athletics, outstanding arts, faith, and a caring community, students are encouraged to discover who they are and who they're called to become. Graduates leave confident, prepared, and ready for college, careers, and life. That's one reason AMHS proudly celebrates a 100% graduation rate. Financial aid is available, making an Archbishop Murphy education possible for many families. See the difference for yourself at the Fall Open House, Sunday, October 18th from 2 to 4. Register at am-hs.org. Archbishop Murphy High School, forming leaders for life.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the Great Summer Sell-a-thon at the Spa Warehouse, and the deals are incredible. When the leaves turn and the temps fall, imagine sinking into your very own saltwater caldera spa. Bubbly, blissful, warm water right in your own backyard. Our Summer Sell-a-thon means massive savings on in-stock models, so owning your dream hot tub is more affordable than ever. Plus, get interest-free financing through 2028. Visit today for the hot tub of your dreams. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue, with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at legacyg.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit legacyg.com for additional program details.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe there are 7 steps that must be taken in preparation for a successful retirement. Retirement needs more than just a basic income plan. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're talking taxes. Everybody loves taxes. Very sexy topic. Also a 3-letter word, ends in X, tax. Danny Westneat wrote an article for Seattle Times talking about how Microsoft is receiving the largest corporate tax break in the United States, which makes Washington the #1 place for big business tax breaks because Microsoft is based here.
Well,
obviously.
also the fact that I think Amazon came in third. Are they
Amazon
still considered
as well.
a local company? Right?
They're very high on the list.
I mean,
yeah.
he and his lovely may live in Florida on a private island inside of Miami waterway. But
I don't know where Amazon.
I think it's still a
I think
local
they're still
company.
a local company.
Yeah.
But Amazon, again, they got a lot of tax breaks because they have made all of these investments, which I do feel is a really important part of the story. If the company is making investments to grow, it increases employees, it's growing the infrastructure, which is just, it's good for everybody, then it makes sense that you'd be able to write off some of those costs. There's two words I want you to remember, which I was unaware of, but I am aware of now, called bonus depreciation. Had you heard of this before this article? I don't even know if it's in the article, actually.
What's bonus depreciation?
Bonus depreciation.
I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah, bonus depreciation is essentially where you can take past investments and you can write them off because you can count those as a loss in the past.
Carrying losses over.
Yeah, like a carryover type
okay,
thing.
yeah.
So here's where it's interesting. Bonus depreciation lets a company front load deductions instead of writing off just chunks of it over different years. So the thing that changed with the One Big Beautiful Bill Act was they were, in the past, they had to take those big expenditures, like you want to buy, GPUs or whatever it might be, like some of these big data things.
The investments we're talking about.
The investments. You had to spread that out over 5 years. And with the OBBBA, is that what they call it? The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, would it let you... Obaba. What it lets you do...
Thanks, Obaba.
What it lets you do is
I'm making that T-shirt.
It lets those companies write off 100% of that this year, which is what Microsoft is doing. And the cool thing about that is, it lets those companies be unrestricted in making future investments. So they see that and they go like, you know what? Like Microsoft, for instance, who's going to spend $190 billion this year on growing their business. Now, Microsoft cannot exist without people to work those jobs. That's good for you and me. The 53,000 Microsoft employees that collectively on average make $230,000 and they buy homes and groceries and cars and all the different things that we love. That's good for those people because those numbers hopefully are going to increase over time. All right. Here's the last thing I want to bring up because I found this very interesting. I started doing some digging. I'm like, you know what? It's not, because I have no problem with tax breaks for businesses. I don't. I see those as good investments. Do you have a problem with those?
I do. Of course I do.
Okay. Let me ask you this question.
Because our future generations are going to have to pay the $40 trillion in debt we're sadly in with.
If you believe that's what's causing it. But yes, let me ask you this question.
Pretty evident.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
In 2009, Seattle Times and other for-profit newspapers sought legislation that would lower their B&O tax rate from 0.484% down to 0.2904% because they said at the time, you might remember 2009 was like kind of a tough fiscal time for people.
Sure.
They said at that time, it's tough for us, the business, yada, yada. We'd like a decrease in the B&O taxes. They got that. Other companies did not. Is that fair?
Big players get big rewards.
So Seattle Times, fair for them to get a tax break, but not for Microsoft.
It's exploiting the laws and the rules.
Not exploiting. They're playing with it. I have no problem with it. But
they're playing within the guidelines of the rules. I wasn't crazy about it then. I wouldn't say it was good for them. It was fair for anybody, but it was necessary for them to keep going. It's one thing when you're trying to fight your way through an economic recession, the Great Recession, as it were.
Sure.
When Microsoft and Amazon are showing record, they're not struggling.
Yeah.
This isn't hard times for these guys that they need breaks from the government to stay alive and keep going forward, employing the people that they employ and investing in the infrastructure that they invest in.
Well, they're investing because they have the money to spend. But yes, go ahead.
But they're also ranking in record profits at a time they've never paid less money in taxes.
I understand, but if you're bringing in $101 billion in profits, which is what they're going to bring in this year, but you're spending 190, how much money are you making?
That's after the 101 in profits. That's after the investments.
Because they're able to write off the investments.
Yeah. So which means they brought in, what, $300 million or $300 billion?
If they couldn't write off the investments, like you're arguing they shouldn't be able to do, then that would be operating at a loss, yes?
No, that'd be larger taxable incomes.
Okay.
That would be.
Let me give you an update on Seattle Times. So 2009 comes and goes, right? Times, they go back to normal for most people.
You'd think after all those tax breaks, it wouldn't be so left-leaning, but that's just, go ahead.
Well, no, it's exactly what happened. But anyway.
I believe you. That's what happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
In January of 2024, Seattle Times was able to get, actually, no, this kicked in this year, January 1st of, was it this year? Or no, starting January 1st, 2024, and it goes through 2034. Seattle Times was able to get a 100% B&O tax exemption in Washington State. Is that fair? Given your logic.
Probably not based on, but there are a lot of factors that you and I probably aren't privy to in this. If you're the only public newspaper, the only privately owned newspaper in town, if you're the paper of record, as Danny Westneat likes to say, it probably behooves local government to keep you in business.
Didn't we just do a big segment last week about how they stifled somebody from being able to even speak? They said they didn't want to print an article?
Like I'm saying, if you get those kind of tax breaks, it's surprising you'd be so left-leaning.
Here's the thing.
You'd be a little more right-leaning.
I have no problem with Seattle Times getting a tax break, and I don't have a problem. But I do think that probably would have been relevant in the article. If they're going to write a long column about how Microsoft shouldn't get a big tax break, and they probably should also include, hey, by the way, Seattle Times gets a 100% B&O tax break. Wouldn't that be fair?
I would think full disclosure.
I would think so.
Every time I hear a story say, hey, by the way, they're a paid sponsor of the show.
Yeah.
You hear that all the time.
It's a lab or something like that. 100%.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. We'd love your opinion on all this stuff. 888-973-5476. You guys can hit us up there. It's going to make it into the last call in our text line. Lots of fun stuff. 1 o'clock is great. We got the 1 o'clock rundown. Top 3 stories in the nation. We got some weird ones. I don't know why these are climbing the top of the list, but a certain NFL owner got busted for prostitution. We'll talk about that so much more. Stick around.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over... Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations. And save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
This is it. These are the nights. The ones where you laugh until you can't anymore. And smile until your head hits the pillow. Where everything feels just right. Because it is. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Must be 21 and over. Please gamble responsibly.
On BritBox, your next hidden gem is right around the corner.
If you're going to be bold, here is the place to do it.
Get ready for Britain's most anticipated series, streaming exclusively on BritBox. Catch new seasons of favourites, including Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
You want someone to get murdered?
And the eagerly awaited new adaptation of Agatha Christie's iconic detective duo, Tommy and Tuppence.
Do you think we're actually really good at this?
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe, plus free delivery on any mattress. Ends Monday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. says it will impose sanctions on countries and financial institutions continuing to do business with Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. is trying to put a chokehold on Iran's economy. ABC's Karen Travers says there's no timeline, though, on the sanctions.
He said that this is really a threat right at this point. The Treasury Department had announced that countries will be given a timeline, a defined timeline, to shut down Iran-related activity that the administration has identified and said if they fail to act, Treasury will act, but we don't have the details of what that timeline is. That has not been released publicly.
In response to the U.S. 50% tariffs placed on Canadian imports, Canada says it will oppose tariffs on U.S. goods starting in September. President Trump also threatening to double tariffs, he says, in January. In Nevada, evacuations continuing northwest of Reno, where crews are battling the Hawk Fire. It broke out over the weekend. This is ABC News. The investigation into the sudden death of Hayden Panettiere continues. The actress's estranged mother now speaking out in an interview with Good Morning America.
Leslie Vogel telling ABC's Rhiannon Alley about the moment she learned her daughter had died from a possible drug overdose, days before her 37th birthday.
I was numb. I was just numb.
The actress suffered cardiac arrest last week. The police report claims her on and off again boyfriend Brian Hickerson and his brother Zach were there and called 911. Hickerson pleaded no contest in 2021 to felony charges alleging he had abused Panettiere.
ABC's Allison Cossack. Prosecutors in the trial of Lindsay Clancy calling rebuttal witnesses today. The mother is charged with killing her 3 children, with defense attorneys claiming Clancy suffered from postpartum psychosis. Closing arguments are set to begin this week. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Some Maple Valley homeowners are battling beavers. More on that straight ahead, but first a check on your commute. Down in Lacey, we've got a new collision at South 5 at Pacific Avenue, blocking the left lane. You're sitting in a thick backup starting at Cabela's, 45 minutes from Tacoma to Olympia. This is the only blocking problem along this route. Here in Seattle, South 5, we're crowded from the U District into downtown. Nothing too bad here. North 5, though, we're starting to get thick before the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Again, approaching 520. Just under 20 minutes to get through all this. And if you're heading over Snoqualmie Pass, both directions of I-90 have road work through Thursday, blocking one lane in each direction. So eastbound lane is blocked between milepost 38 and 46. Right now, not much of a backup here, but westbound is got a lane closure from milepost 47 to 54, and we're looking at about a 3-mile significant backup. This support brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A major Washington trade group says more than 500,000 Northwest jobs are now caught in the middle of the U.S.-Canada trade war. Lori Otto-Punk is president of the Washington Council on International Trade. Her warning comes after trade talks between the two countries collapsed, triggering 50% tariffs on $20 billion in Canadian goods. Canada has promised dollar-for-dollar retaliation starting September 8th on steel, dairy, paper, and electronics, all major exports from Washington. In a statement, Punk says Canada is not a rival to be worn down. The suspect in a 5-person Oregon homicide was found dead by suicide in Enumclaw Sunday. 36-year-old Benjamin Charles Parker was discovered inside his pickup behind the Safeway on Roosevelt Avenue. Washington County Sheriff Caprice Massey says the Oregon crime scene was staggering.
I will say that in my 22 years here, I have not been a part of or witnessed a scene quite this complex involving this type of an investigation.
5 people and several pets were killed at a rural property about 30 miles west of Portland. Investigators say Parker knew the victims, but a motive remains unknown, and it's also not clear why he ended up in Enumclaw. Some Maple Valley homeowners say they're running out of options as beaver dams continue to flood their properties. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley reports.
Michael Upton's Maple Valley lot doesn't look like it used to.
And it's not just water, it's swamp water.
He says the creek that once cut through the property is now backed up by beavers, transforming flowing water into a swamp. According to Washington law, beaver dams can be removed when they threaten private land, but there's nothing in here about requiring a removal. We emailed Washington's Department of Fish and Wildlife to double check. They told me they can't require a landowner remove beavers if they don't want to, and licensed trappers can't trap them on private property without permission.
Well, the Seahawks lost to the Titans 19-16 last night, but the score isn't the story. Rookie safety Bud Clark was carted off the field with an ankle injury. Head coach Mike McDonald says Clark will be out multiple months. That's a big hit to Seattle's defense. The second-round pick was expected to rotate in behind starters Julian Love and Ty Okada. Backup offensive lineman Mason Richmond also went down with what McDonald called a long-term injury. Seattle plays in Kansas City Friday at 5 o'clock to close out the preseason. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Another nice summer day, mostly sunny and 78 this afternoon. We'll ramp up those temps tomorrow with a high near 86 with a smoky haze moving through. Wednesday, morning clouds, afternoon sun and 78. And Thursday, a few showers with some sun breaks and 74. Cloudy and 75 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. We got a lot of great stuff to get to. This is a smorgasbord of weird stories. We got some big national stories and some big international stories, actually, in the 1 o'clock rundown. Top stories, coast to coast.
We also should mention that at 2:30 today. Is it 2:30? We're going to speak 2:30?
Yep.
We're going to speak to the local gentleman who felt so concerned about the city's state of and future.
Yep.
He put up a billboard in North Seattle, 130th and Aurora Avenue. And we're going to have that. It says,
it says would the last taxpayer to leave the Emerald City change the name to the Blue Tarp City, which I think has a nice ring to it, of thieves, druggies, and shooters. Paid for by V.A. Fleming, and then he put his phone number on the billboard.
He's going to join us at 2:30 today to talk about how he feels about his city.
I bet you I can guess.
Oh, I know how you feel. I mean, the fact that he invested his own, not just his own money to put this billboard up.
Yeah.
He put his phone number up there. He's got what we call the skin in the game.
He's got skin in the game. This is a fun little side fact, just a little nugget. I'm trying to push a new thing called Jake's Nuggets, and this is for you to take home. Jake's Nuggets.
Jake's Take Home Nuggets.
Do you know how much those two guys paid for in 1960? When was it? 1960? 71.
Oh, the last person leaving Seattle billboard.
The last person leaving Seattle, turn out the lights. How much did they pay for that billboard?
Oh, in 71?
Yes.
$350.
Pretty close. Okay. $160 Renos.
Oh, wow.
Brought to you by Jake's Nuggets. You can take that home with you, share that with a friend. They taste great. Everybody loves Jake's Nuggets.
Delicious.
Delicious. We're going to talk to that guy at 2:30. All right. 1 o'clock rundown. Top stories.
Do you think he'll share what he paid today in today's market? You probably know,
heck yeah.
right?
I'm going to push him.
Okay.
He's going to tell us.
Well, I bet some people would like to help.
I want to know how much yeah, absolutely.
You know?
How much you invested in this VA. Also, what do those letters stand for? Let's take a guess on that. It's got to be Victor, right?
Maybe. Yeah, Vincent.
Vincent or Victor. Yeah. And second name,
Well, What's the last name again?
V.A. Fleming. So V.A. Fleming.
I love that we're just doing some light doxing here on the Jake and Spike show to kick off the one.
He put his phone number out there.
Yeah, it's not doxing.
We're peppering his own self-doxing. Victor Albert.
Victor Albert?
I bet. With a name like Fleming, he's got to be British.
That's a good guess. V.A. Fleming. All right, 1 o'clock rundown. Top stories coast to coast. This first one is, I don't know how this happens. I mean, I know how it happens. I don't know why somebody would let themselves get into a situation like this.
About the tariffs? Is that what we're talking about? For?
We'll get to the tariffs in a minute.
That setup, I'm like, we got to be tough.
49ers owner, guy by the name of John York, goes by Jed.
Jed, yeah.
Which sounds actually closer to what he's accused of. John Jed York was arrested in East Palestine, Ohio, on suspicion of engaging in prostitution. This from the...
One man's recruiting trip is another man's engagement in prostitution.
I don't know what he's...
Sorry.
I don't know what he's recruiting. I was going to make a tight end joke, and I won't. This is brought to us from... Everybody has this. I'm reading this from a Fox News site, but it says that he was arrested for suspicion of engaging in prostitution and possessing criminal tools. I don't know what that means. Those charges were later amended to misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools, according to court records. He was booked on $5,000 bond, which I'm pretty sure that he can handle as the owner of one of the wealthiest sports franchises in the world. He was ordered to pay $1,150 in fines. This apparently happened at what is called the Wheat Hill Mobile Home Community, which is a trailer park.
And spa, I'm hoping?
And spa.
I mean, I'm hoping there's a little miscommunication. I don't know, man.
I honestly... I just thought that she was a masseuse.
Sure.
I don't know what happened toward the end, but I can tell you I didn't enjoy it. No, just kidding. None of that was from him. How is it possible that a guy... How much is this guy worth, by the way? What is this guy worth? Can we look that up real fast, Mike? If you own the 49ers, I'm going to say there's a fair bet that he's worth at least north of $1 billion. Oh, there's his mugshot. Look at that.
That's not a happy chappy right there, man.
Good golly.
Yeah.
That is this, I mean, you know.
Broke down in the red zone, as analysts like to say. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a fumble for
it's
sure.
It's just it never gets old.
What's he worth? Let's take a guess first. Spike, what do you think he's worth?
His personal net worth, $60 billion. Or million, $60 million.
$60 million?
That's $60
it?
Yeah.
As the owner of the...
No, he's the CEO. But his parents...
Owner and CEO.
Yeah, but his parents are the co-chairman of the 49ers.
Yeah, but he's going to get that money.
Yeah, but Denise and John York, his proud parents this morning.
Yeah.
He's Nepo baby.
Yeah, but he's going to inherit that.
I bet he's sitting on 60 right now. If I just take from a look at that mugshot,
I'm going to say 1.5 billion.
1.5 B?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike,
Dr. Google is not helpful here. Personal net worth between 100 and 500 million, while his family's collective wealth is estimated by Forbes to be 8.5 million. The team alone by itself is 8.5. So
his family's only 8.5 million or billion?
B with a B. Billion with a B.
B with a B.
It's so hard because we talk about all these. It's funny. We talk numbers where we talk about taxation, or we're talking about investment. The used to be $1 million was $1 million.
Yeah.
You're Jed Clampett with a cement pond in the backyard.
Yeah.
Right? But now $1 million in Washington gets you taxed at 9.9%. Right? And the B word is just so... Now we're throwing around trillions.
Crazy.
We're throwing trillions around these days when we talk about stories.
But what do you think it takes to... I mean, is this just like... So I saw a picture of this guy with... Yeah. I mean, this is just like a classic mugshot. It's so horrible. That's obviously going to haunt him for the rest of his life. And as it should, if you're arrested for doing this and then it's proven that you did it. The tough thing is organizations like the 49ers who have said this is a legal matter which has been resolved. We will not be providing any further comment at this time. Yeah, no kidding.
Well, he did have it pled down to a misdemeanor. Right?
You know what?
Disorderly conduct.
Let me give you one little tidbit about
He forfeited $160 in pocket cash to the local organization to help fight human trafficking.
Well, that's nice.
That was decent of him.
That's very nice of him. He's originally from Youngstown, Ohio, so at least he was like, kind of going home for this. He's investing in the local economy.
He's remembering his roots.
He is.
Yeah. He's playing it forward.
Do you remember when the Robert Kraft stuff came out, like the massage parlor stuff?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember all that?
Oh yeah.
And you sit there and you go like, how is it possible that the world that these guys are living in? I mean, the status that they enjoy is so beyond crazy untouchable for any normal person.
Yeah.
They are surrounded by people at all times trying to help them avoid just such a situation.
And also trying to win their favor.
Trying to win their favor.
Plying him with every kind of pleasure and
not everyone,
and attribute.
apparently.
Well,
if you had to
no.
go to Youngstown.
Well, I got a theory on this, but
go ahead.
Here's the theory.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, these guys live a lavish life of, shrimp the size of your hand, lobster tails, filet mignon, the whole nine, right? Sometimes you just want a burger.
I love how all of it's food related.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. Sometimes you just want a burger. You want to go down and dirty.
Oh, I hear you
and
saying.
drive through.
Yeah. I get
maybe
the analogy.
maybe he's tired of the escort service class.
Yep.
That's always in the luxury suite. That's always got eyelashes and liners and hair implants and extensions and God knows how many surgical procedures. You just want a good old fashioned Ohio trailer park burger.
So
you know what I'm saying to you?
Horrible.
But no, it's not. He never forgot his roots. He never forgot who he was.
You can't take
He's
him
a
out of
billionaire, but he's still white
Can't
trash.
take him out of the trailer park.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, you can. They did.
They should. In handcuffs. Oh, my God.
You can get somebody out of the trailer park, actually.
Yeah.
Especially if they're soliciting prostitution.
Oh, poor
and they
thing.
have a very ominous sounding possessing of criminal tools, which I don't know. Is that like a lock pick? Was he picking a lock to get into this?
I don't know, man.
To get into this mobile home brothel?
Was he self-protecting with a kind of a knife? Did he have an over-length illegal knife in his pocket? That's a criminal tool, right? It's hard to say.
Is that a knife in your pocket?
He's just really expecting your $37.
Oh, Lord. We got to move off this. That guy.
We could stay all day, but we really should go.
You know what? I mean, this guy's got I assume he's got a family. He's got a wife. I saw a picture of him with his wife.
Oh, did you? Oh,
he's got kids.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I know Dr. Google had me about criminal tools. According to Dr. Google,
what's a criminal tool?
Criminal tools are any items, devices, substances, or instruments that a person possesses with the intent to use them for an illegal purpose.
So that could be some sort of it could be drug paraphernalia.
Could be paraphernalia, it could be drugs.
And when you got the kind of mommy and daddy in deep pockets that you get a solicitation charge bumped down to criminal misdemeanor.
Then they refer to something as criminal tools.
Criminal tools,
Listen, that's any normal Joe Schmo gets popped for doing that same thing.
Yeah.
Drug paraphernalia. That's what it's listed
It further defines it that says intent matters. So I'm thinking paraphernalia. Producer Mike sticking his neck.
But we don't. But we don't know that. Those
allegedly.
are all alleged. Those
and
are
the company
all
would ask us to
speculations.
respect their privacy during this difficult time.
Yeah, and so we will. But
couldn't
you know
have a
what?
nice organization.
A little more fuel to the fire for the Seahawks just to squash these guys in the season, don't you think? Did you watch any of that game yesterday? You watched that Sunday Night Football game?
I didn't have a chance to
Titans?
help my kid move into his first place.
They looked pretty good until they didn't, but
The
again,
Hawks?
you're not playing your stars.
No,
It's just
you're going to
C-team
find
guys.
out. You're going to find out what your bench looks like. That's
Yeah.
what these games are.
You know who looks good? Locke.
Drew Lock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just a solid player. And I have been well informed by women who watched that he's also a handsome guy.
Drew Lock? Well, of course,
Drew
yeah.
Lock.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just like a good guy all around.
Quick sidebar. Is there any better job in the NFL than a backup quarterback? Is there any better job?
I would say yes. Starting quarterback who's doing awesome.
I don't know, man. Every play of these days, those monsters on defense, big, strong, fast, mean. Every play could be your last.
The problem with the NFL.
To hold the clipboard and watch football from the sideline for millions of dollars a year.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sweet gig.
What I will say, though, is I do think it would be tough to have that level of athletic skill and talent and also the competitiveness required to get to the NFL and then to spend your career holding a clipboard. I'd want to be on the field.
That does have to be heartbreaking. You're right. There's a price.
It would be heartbreaking because you'd be like
the price you pay is your dreams.
The collecting of the check is nice. I think I would actually build up an anxiety from just being ready to go in and never going in. It's like you're always on the sideline. Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach.
And you have to be ready at a moment's notice.
Playing the
entire franchise success depends on your readiness to go in. Right at a moment's notice.
You need to be able to go in. You're on an amazing drive. Somebody goes down and gets hurt or stubs a toe. You got to be in like that. Know everything.
Yeah.
Which would be exhausting if you're not regularly getting the reps.
Yeah, it's not all candy lollipops and filet mignon.
I don't know if you guys have been watching Hard Knocks, but they talked about that in the last episode. They had the quarterbacks coaches.
Oh, really?
And they were talking about how the backups have to know the plays more than the starters because the starter gets reps.
Sure.
The backups don't. So they have to study twice as hard to know everything the starter knows because they need to be ready to jump in like that.
See, I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I assume that was 3rd episode. Okay.
Yeah, 4th is coming up tomorrow night.
Then I know exactly what a backup quarterback feels like. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
Moving on.
I'm excited for this next story. Well, I'm not excited for it. I'm excited for the topic, but I am not. I think that I find this to be dubious. Putin and Russia have recently launched and started sea trials for a brand new nuclear-powered submarine. And this thing is massive. And the reason I'm highlighting this, I saw it on a bunch of websites, but the other thing about this is it makes me think of my favorite. I'd say this is top 5 for sure for me. It might be number 1, Hunt for Red October, which is just one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah. Interesting choice.
Yeah, and so he's launched this new submarine and made me think of this. Can you pull this music down a little bit while I read you some details about this big behemoth giant thing floating underneath the water? It's not floating, but whatever submarines.
They're starting sea trials right now.
Okay, 10,000 tons is how much this thing weighs.
I'm sorry, 10,000. The music will up. 10,000 tons?
10,000 tons. I can't pronounce the name, but it's spelled Khabarovsk. Khabarovsk. Is that how you pronounce it? Khabarovsk. It's probably not.
Khabarovsk, yeah.
Khabarovsk.
Yeah.
This is a nuclear-capable Doomsday. It carries Poseidon nuclear-capable Doomsday underwater drones.
Nuclear drones.
It actually has space for 6 autonomous underwater drones. Now, in the original Hunt for Red October, which is a better book than movie, which is always the case, but the movie's phenomenal. What the big new technology in that movie is the fact that it has something called like a caterpillar drive, which means it operates silently, which is, as far as I know, is still just basically science fiction. But it had a bunch of nuclear missile stuff.
Yeah.
And this one, we've advanced now. Like, technology no longer is about like intercontinental ballistic missiles that are, you could park this thing 100 miles off the coast of Washington, blah, 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 whatever that line was. This now is about underwater drones. It can release underwater drones. How crazy is that that's the world that we live in now? I mean, you have submarines now that's essentially probably almost an underwater drone itself. You don't even need men on these things anymore.
Right.
You just need, it's just a big giant computer floating around out there doing God knows what. I don't know. Does it scare you?
It scares me for so many reasons because, we're taking the humanity out of warfare. And when you don't have humanity in warfare, you tend to just not care what you're blowing up anymore. How many civilians?
Have you seen War Games with Matthew Broderick?
Absolutely.
I know how this ends.
Me too. And every AI-controlled evil in a movie always determines that we're the problem.
Technically, actually, that one ended pretty good. This is the only move is to not play.
Right, the only smart move is to not play, right.
The only smart move is to not play.
So we just have to if we find a way to challenge this up to tic-tac-toe, we'll be okay.
You gotta go out on the water.
Matthew Broderick reprises his role. He's now a chubbier, balding Matthew Broderick, happily married for many, many years.
He's actually just playing Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, he's just Matthew Broderick. But he still loves the game of tic-tac-toe.
Sent out to interface with Poseidon.
One of the commenters I loved this story because Russia's military has not really lived up to its promise or its billing against Ukraine. Right?
You thought they would wipe out Ukraine faster than they have.
You would think they would be with no problem. But part of having an oligarchy like Putin has, people are afraid to tell him the truth. So he's told all these fanciful details and capabilities of his military presence, which just don't bear out to be true when you get on the field against Ukraine, right?
So they end up doing more submarines, you say?
Well, somebody commented, if you want to know where this new Russian doomsday sub is, just follow the tugboat, because there's a really good chance it's not going to work right. So we'll take some solace in that.
That's funny. And there's going to be another situation like this.
Given the depth of the water, and it'll be some time before anything is recovered, this has been a terrible tragedy, Mr. Ambassador. And I can only stress that if you'd come to us earlier, it might have been avoided.
I appreciate your candor in the matter.
And I yours, Andre.
Perhaps in the future the technology will be available for a more thorough investigation of the wreckage.
Perhaps.
God, what a great cat.
Such a great cat. That guy's got a great voice. We don't want to miss the story. We got to get to it real fast. Spike, tell us about this Canadian tariff. Is it a threat? Is it kicked in yet?
No,
or
they
is it just a threat?
50% tariff on to about $20 billion worth of U.S. Canadian imports into the U.S., I should say.
But it's a threat.
No, they went into effect Saturday night. They're in effect local coverage in our every half hour local rundowns. Local businesses are already starting to feel the impact of these tariffs. And this has been going on since day one of the second Trump administration, trying to get a better deal for trade with our largest trading partner, Canada.
Yeah.
But to keep it in perspective, it's $20 billion worth of trade, and Canada's promised retaliatory tariffs are going to be starting, I think, the first week of September. It's less than 1% of our total import globally. Canadian, I'm talking about the 20% that is
comes
tariffed
in from Canada,
or the 20 billion coming in from the 20 billion specifically targeted for tariffs.
Gotcha.
0.6 of 1% of our total imports. It's going to affect local businesses.
Go get your maple syrup, folks, before you can't get it.
Liquor's always impacted
Oh yeah,
by
they
this.
have Pendleton whiskey.
They
don't
got really good
Oh,
stuff.
darn it!
Yeah. But it's also softwoods. You know, the lumber industry for U.S. construction is going to be hit with this immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully these guys can all get back to the table, come up with a better deal than the one Trump first negotiated, the North American-Mexico trade, or whatever it is, the Canadian-Mexican, with the one he doesn't like now.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll just get a good deal put in place and everything can move forward.
Good deal, folks. Come on, get a good deal. Both sides, make them happy. All right, when we come back, we got your question of the day. We got a lot of responses. We're going to get into those. And, of course, we're talking.
Did you find anybody, Mike, that agreed with me? Anybody at all, even one?
We're going to have, don't spoil it.
I'm sorry.
We're going to get to it. Is transit in Washington State, given the numbers recently that we found out, is it a good investment of your dollars? 888-973-5476. We asked you why or why not. We're going to get into that next. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
Coming up tomorrow morning in Choke Points, you know that annoying car in front of you going way under the speed limit, but you can't pass? It's a 2-lane road. Why isn't that guy getting over? It's not like it's the law. Oh, yeah, it is. But you know what? There aren't any signs to tell that driver to do so. What are we doing? I'm here to help you out tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue, with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
It's Jonathan here from DUI Heroes, and I'm here today with a teenager who's just about to get her driver's license, and she's got some questions for me about driving, alcohol, and how to not end up in my office.
I got invited to a high school party this weekend. What should I do if there's drinking there?
First of all, don't engage in that conduct. It's illegal for you to do it. You're underage and you could get in trouble. Even if you're not behind the wheel, if for some reason the police get called out to that party because of a noise complaint, every teenager at that party is going to find themselves arrested and charged with something called minor in possession of alcohol, which is a gross misdemeanor. It means it could put you in jail for up to a year. So just don't engage. If you do, please don't get behind the wheel. Do the right thing. Call a parent, call a rideshare, just be safe. That was a great question. And if you or any of your friends find yourselves this summer in contact with law enforcement, please give us a call at 1-800-DUI-HERO or online at DUIHeroes.com.
It's the Great Summer Sellathon at the Spa Warehouse, and the deals are incredible. When the leaves turn and the temps fall, imagine sinking into your very own saltwater caldera spa. Bubbly, blissful warm water right in your own backyard. Our Summer Sellathon means massive savings on in-stock models, so owning your dream hot tub is more affordable than ever. Plus, get interest-free financing through 2028. Visit today for the hot tub of your dreams. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
Nothing worse than clutter. With Closets by Design, everything will finally have its place. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Closet.byDesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Trump administration launching a series of secondary sanctions for countries they say do business with Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the president is leading the conversations with those different nations.
We know who they are. They know who they are. So when the hammer of U.S. Treasury actions falls upon them, they will have no one to blame but themselves.
We get more from ABC's Karen Travers.
He said countries know the timeline right now that they have to essentially change their behavior, change how they're doing business with Iran, but that wasn't made public. And so it's not clear how long this threat would be out there and when the administration might take some action.
The trade war between the U.S. and Canada is escalating after negotiations between those two countries collapsed last week. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney declaring his country is at war with the U.S.
You're at war when you get attacked. We got attacked.
President Trump has now imposed a 50% tariff on $20 billion of Canadian goods, including hockey sticks, furniture, textiles, building supplies, and alcohol.
Canada vowing retaliation starting September 8th with 50% tariffs on U.S. imports, everything from steel and dairy to plywood and electronics. Here in Washington, the Council on International Trade is raising concerns, noting Canada is one of our region's largest export markets, with nearly $11 billion in goods from Washington, Oregon, and Idaho just last year. At the closing bell, mixed results amid all the trade tension. Dow up 140, NASDAQ down 200, S&P lost 21 points. Washington State's cattle ranchers are firing back at the president's plan to allow tariff-free ground beef imports. The president announced this deal last week, saying importers are selling the beef at 25% below market prices. Jack Field is the executive director of the Washington Cattle Feeders Association.
I think government interaction in a free market is always the worst action and decision that could be made. It's intended to assist the consumer, but it's something that certainly puts the U.S. producer at a greater risk.
Right now, the domestic cattle herd is at a 75-year low. Field says the industry needs incentives to rebuild, not cheap competition. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 1:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. We'll start you in Lacey. South 5 and Pacific Avenue crews are still working this collision in your left lane. You're in a backup starting near Cabela's. About a 4-mile backup here. Tacoma to Olympia has inched up a few to 50 minutes. In Federal Way, North 5 at State Route 18, a collision partially blocks that off-ramp. It's blocking the right lane of the highway leading up to the ramp, so you just got to go right around them and you can cut back onto the exit ramp. And this has traffic slowing from the Fife curve. Here in Seattle, South 5, crowded from the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. Less than a 20-minute trip from Linwood. North 5 slows at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Again, approaching 520. Same story here, just under a 20-minute drive to get through downtown. Backups at the First Avenue South Bridge where a marine crossing is underway. And South 405 are heavy as you head through Factoria. This report brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. Don't miss out on fireworks nights presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the sing-along show September 4th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Plenty of sunshine for today. Also some wildfire smoke and haze rolling through. Mostly of it aloft, so it won't impact air quality too much. Haze will decrease tomorrow night as winds pick up. 70s and 80s today, 80s and 90s tomorrow, then cooler for the rest of the week. Right now, 74 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 1:30, which means it is time for us to get to your responses to the question of the day. We were talking earlier, kind of inspired by this great piece in the Washington Policy Center by Charles Pastrude. He's the Director of Transportation Policy over there. He crunched some of the numbers that are now available, and he looked at transit ridership. Now, this is across all of transit. This is Metro, Sound Transit, which would include light rail, Community Transit, Pierce Transit, and Everett Transit. And across all of those different various modes of transportation, in 2015, total boardings were 176,347,201. And in 2025, even though our population locally here in those areas has increased by about 500,000 or 14%, the number has actually dropped by 10.5%. And so as of 2025, they only had 157,700,428 boardings. So we asked you guys, we said, hey, is this a good investment? Because if you live in the taxable areas and you're paying for light rail or you're paying for the buses and all the different stuff, you are paying quite a bit of money per household. I think it's about $1,700. In King County, it's about $2,300 because they have some extra stuff. And we said, like, hey, like, is this a value? Are you getting a value for what you're paying for if the vast majority of you use another mode of transportation? You don't use these modes of transportation. And you guys had a ton of responses. Should we just dive into these, Spike?
Sure, you bet. Todd Burian says, I don't know what train you're looking at yet because the ones I see, they're completely packed, especially the one line to Bellevue.
This is Todd Burian. I assume he's talking to me when I said that I'm constantly driving by what I refer to as ghost trains.
Yeah.
The reason I call them ghost trains is because when I'm driving south on 5 towards work at about, let's see, this would probably be about 8:30 a.m., maybe early 8, maybe 8:15 sometimes. Even as early as like 7:30 if I'm feeling particularly ambitious on the day. I will look up at the elevated part of the train, and as the sun rises and goes through the windows very cleanly, I can see that there's almost nobody riding those trains. Now, this is south of
From the Linwood Station.
South of the Linwood Station.
Yeah. Well, that's the final at this point.
And then this would also be this is also south of the, what's the one next to Edmonds?
That's Shoreline. There's
this is also
Shoreline
south
stations.
of Shoreline.
Yeah, 185th and Shoreline North, and those are my stations that I use. And then we talk about going down to 145th and then North Gate Station. And I'm going to skip ahead to just a couple. I don't want to miss everybody. I'll skip it real quickly. Among people that I know, a major reason that they no longer take the light rail is at about 6:30 in the morning, there are no longer parking spaces available in all the parking rides.
That's true, too.
They didn't plan that very well. So,
Yeah.
When you look at it, because Todd and Burian's probably talking about trains at 6:30, at 7 o'clock, at 7:30, when people can actually take advantage of the parking structures.
Yeah.
Because they
have
come nowhere near
400 spots?
Yeah.
Or something, nothing? They're
nowhere
very
near
small.
what they should have been doing. So I just wanted to mention that in there.
Steve in downtown Seattle, he says, Jake, I'm not against you, but just to be accurate and fair, don't you have to spread out any money spent across the expected life of the light rail into the future? And we don't know the ridership in the future. That is true, Steve. We don't know the ridership in the future, which was the argument you were making, Spike.
And we are the generation that's footing the bill for future generations.
Well, they will also foot the bill. They'll continue paying on the bonds, and everything for the next, into the 2060s and beyond. So they're going to foot the bill as well. Here's what I do know, Steve, based on Sound Transit's own numbers. Actually, this is transit in general. This is collected by the Puget Sound Regional Council, the PSRC. Their forecasts. In 2014, 4% of trips in the Puget Sound were on some form of transit. Currently, it's less than 3%, and they're hoping, if they're very successful in getting more riders to switch back, then that number, they're hoping by 2050, which is 24 years from now, they're hoping that number jumps to 4.7%. Now, these people could not estimate their way out of a paper bag.
I'm sorry.
So there's no way in HE double hockey sticks, even the ones that are going to be overtaxed from Canada, that these guys are going to be able to get to that 4% number, 4.7% number. I think it would be, it's just not how people travel. They don't. They take cars. Trains are not as reliable. All these different things.
Well, make aluminum wars in the future. When all the aluminum goes to robots instead of car production, we may have no other choice.
I hope we are driving cars for a long time. I wish we were investing. I wish we were investing some of that $185 billion in road infrastructure, making roads better. And we have some of the worst roads in the nation. Some of the worst in the nation. We have an unbelievable gas tax. I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. Eric in Everett says, I don't want our government making big bets. I want our government making sound, no pun intended, responsible decisions that benefit the most people for the least amount of money. Spike, those in charge of transit ain't getting it done.
Let's see. Gary says, light rail, would you put 100% of your investment into futures? What Spike said about behavior change. Eventually people might ride the choo-choo train, but Americans have enjoyed the freedom to move about on their own schedule. It's going to take another 250 years to change that behavior.
Yeah, I'll point you to the aforementioned robot wars. Tim in 253 says, public transit is the government's version of buying a boat.
You're happy the day you buy it and happy you sell it?
The day you unload it.
Let's see here.
Days.
Thomas in Tacoma, it's a poor investment. They should have just got more buses and bus drivers for a quarter of the price to get people where they need to go.
Matthew in Tacoma
I agree with that one,
it's
Thomas.
not like wanting to support the schools because you don't have a kid in school. He says,
is that like something?
It's like supporting the schools because you don't have a kid in school. See what I'm saying? If you don't ride the transit, you shouldn't support the transit. That's kind of the analogy he's making. Not supporting schools because you don't have a kid in school.
Well, I still pay property taxes for school.
Mm-hmm.
I have kids in school, so I'm currently benefiting from it. But long after I have kids in school, I'll still be paying those taxes. But I'm still paying for the trains, even though I don't ride them.
You should ride them.
I rode one the other day.
Yeah.
To the Seahawks.
Magic, wasn't it?
Sweaty. And there was a scary dude. Honestly, scary dude dressed like a crow, holding a giant stick, standing right next to me and my son. And the entire time, I'm doing that thing where I'm staring out the window, but I'm watching the reflection to see if he makes any fast moves.
Of course, your side eye.
Every single person on the train with me was doing the exact same thing. Nobody was talking.
Is he a shaman
Everybody's
or
watching.
something?
I don't know what the guy was, but he was totally covered, head to toe, with a giant stick, and we're all like, all right.
You sneak a picture?
Let's just get to the... Yeah, right. All right. We got a lot more coming up. We got feeding time next.
Yeah, baby.
Stick around. Right back.
The civil authorities have issued a child abduction emergency for all of Washington beginning at 1:38 p.m. and ending at 2:38 p.m. The Washington State Patrol on behalf of the Wenatchee Police Department has issued an Amber Alert. Victim is a 1-year-old male named Irex Sayama. Victim is 2 foot 6 inches tall, weighs 21 pounds and has brown hair. He was last seen on August 21, 2026. He is in the company of Stephanie Gifford, a 41-year-old female, who is 5 foot 7 inches, weighing 225 pounds with brown hair, blue eyes. They may be traveling in a dark red 2006 Acura TSX. Washington license BYJ 5752. If you have information, please call 911.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula.
It's got to be a white man that I'm voting for in 2028.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Kamala Harris, I'm not voting for you. AOC, I ain't voting for you. We can't take no more chances. It's going to be a white man that I'm voting for in 2028.
And I think that's so sad without even knowing.
If you think that there's somebody that you believe that can win in 2028, you let me know.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
Integrity Roofing and Construction have been serving the Puget Sound area for 10 years. If your roof is aging, it's got storm damage, or just ready for an upgrade, now's the perfect time to schedule your free consultation. They use products that last longer and perform better. Integrity Roofing and Construction know what they're doing. Their team brings full transparency to every job, so you know exactly what your home needs before you spend a dime. Locations from Issaquah to Sequim, Everett to Gig Harbor. There's one near you. Visit integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com. Where doing the right thing matters.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Packed team buses, light rail and ferries. There are different routes to game day, but the destination is always the same. This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising costs and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Have you been putting off remodeling your kitchen because of the stress, mess, and cost? Stop waiting. Heritage Homecraft makes it so easy and affordable to update your kitchen. Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. We're teaming up with KIRO Newsradio to give you a chance to win the Fall Kitchen Facelift. It's your chance to win $5,000 towards your kitchen refacing project, plus a $500 Visa gift card for new kitchen gadgets. For full contest rules and to enter, visit mynorthwest.com/win.
Welcome back to the show. It's feeding time. We get to look at the algorithms. Actually, no, we get to look at social media. The algorithms are looking at us. And then they shove stuff down our throats. We thought it's fun. It's a fun thing because Spike and I are very, very different people. I'm sure that we look at very, very different things. And so we thought it would be fun if we see what the algorithms are shoving down our throats because it's different stuff. That we literally see different worlds. People talk about this all the time, but I don't think it can be stated enough. Back in the day when there were 3 news stations, you tuned in at night and CBS told you basically the same thing that NBC told you, and ABC told you the same thing.
Yep,
and
it's true.
That was kind of it. And they all had...
Which guy did you trust more?
Yeah.
That's all it boiled down to.
And they all had 65 million viewers a night.
Yep.
And they all did very well, and then everybody finished off their libation, and they went to bed. And that's what happened. And now, anytime you check your phone, it's just sending you stuff that it thinks will distract you.
Or make you mad.
Make you
engage.
Whatever it might be.
You know, it's funny, though. I've been trying to really hard to
curate.
Thank you. I was going to say cultivate. That's not the right word. Curate my algorithm to give me less grief and stress and anxiety in the world. And I've been falling in love with the clips from Little League World Series baseball.
Those are nice.
Those are so nice. And the one play I got more than any other play was against the Washington team, Northwest team, taking on the Southwest team from Henderson, Nevada. Did you see the catch the second baseman made along the foul line just behind first base? I forget the young gentleman's name.
But they lost, right?
They lost 5-zip. They lost 5-zip. But this catch, it's such an embodiment of, these are kids who, they're only 12. But, I bet more than half their life they've been out there taking swings. They've been dads have been driving them to practice.
100%.
And this team from Soundview, from Tacoma, was undefeated in Little League World Series play. They lost to Henderson, the Southwestern regional winner, 5-0 yesterday. But this kid making this play, you got to have mad respect for all these little guys who are just giving it their all.
Can you imagine just how... just the joy and obviously the losing part is sad.
It sucks.
But being on your team, those are all 12-year-old boys, just like playing and having fun with your teammates. You're at the Little League World Series.
Building lifetime
It's
lifetime
like
memories.
a movie. You're living like a movie.
And these kids are making, I couldn't believe this play. Could not believe this play.
So he made the play?
He made the play. He slid under, and this ball was dropping inside the line, just out of reach of the first baseman. Couldn't get there. The right fielder didn't have a chance at it. But this little guy from second base came rolling over and literally dove awkwardly and got under this ball just at the turf and made the catch. It wasn't the game decider because they lost 5-0.
No, but he's got a highlight for the rest of his life.
For the rest of his life. And the other day we were watching on Friday when Washington won. and had bases loaded, bottom of the last, with nobody out, and a 1-run lead, and Washington got 3 straight outs to end the game and win the game. Washington, now they dropped to the elimination bracket, now they're in the losers bracket, but they'll play tomorrow.
That's cool.
And because it was their first loss in the Little League World Series play. Today, Pennsylvania plays, I believe, Alabama, and the winner of that game will advance to take on Washington tomorrow. So I've loved that my feed has been populated with Little League World Series.
That's fantastic.
It's a great time of year.
Did you ever have any big sports moments when you were a kid playing ball?
Oh,
you played baseball, right?
No, I played lacrosse and I played football.
Okay.
And I dove, but I just dove just to get out of swimming laps.
Gotcha.
That's okay.
Oh, you dove, like competitively?
Yeah, in high
diving.
school. In high school, yeah.
That's fantastic.
My brother was a backstroker, was one of the state's best backstrokers in high school in Maryland. And so I had to swim too.
Sure.
And I swam so I wouldn't have to run laps as a wrestler.
Yeah.
But our football coach, was also our spring lacrosse coach, and he demanded that we play 3 sports a year to stay in shape in the winter.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I don't want to run laps wrestling, so I'll just swim.
In a humid pool.
After 2 days of nothing but laps, I'm watching these divers stand around for 30 minutes waiting.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to dive.
It's like that's the version of kicking on a football team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I dove. We had great moments, but just at the high school level.
I played the one defining moment, just like this kid is going to be defined by this catch. He'll have it forever. He's on a video, which is sweet. When I was in high school, I was not a very good ball player, but when I was in high school, we got to play at Everett Memorial Stadium, which is like where the Aqua Sox play.
Yeah.
And it was like, the coach before the game was like, guys, this is your opportunity for, this is like you get to play in a big league feeling stadium, which was so cool. And I didn't play much. I mostly was just like cheering on the team from the bench because I wasn't that good.
Good teammate.
But because he wanted everybody to get an opportunity to play in this place, he put me out in right field for like a couple of innings. And so I see this ball, and I'm tracking this ball coming at me. And it's a foul ball. It's going to be gone.
Sure.
Batter's going to get another opportunity. Unless I can close the gap, right?
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to be a hero. So I'm running as fast as I can.
Yeah.
And I'm tracking this thing, and I am laser vision on this ball. The stands and the crowd, I'm hearing noise, like you're almost like, it's just, I got in the zone.
Nice. Yeah,
and then I smashed right into the warm-up bullpen.
Oh.
Smacked my face right on the ground.
Oh, you ate the mound?
I was nowhere near the ball.
Oh.
It was like
just
the worst.
No.
Yeah, and then shortly after I got cut. But whatever, it's fun.
I'm so sorry.
You know what? Memory for a lifetime. They all turn to gold.
Show me the scar.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, we got a lot of stuff. I still haven't got to my feeding time. I'm going to introduce it as a bonus feature in our 2 p.m. segment.
Super.
Because
Excellent.
It's a wild story.
Excellent.
I promise you're going to like it. Stick around. We got a lot more. And we got the sign guy at 2:30. You're not going to want to miss him. That guy who put up the sign about the Blue Tarp Seattle. He's going to be joining us live at 2:30, so don't miss that. All right. We'll be right back.
Charlie Harger.
I want to be a watchdog.
From Seattle's Morning News.
Somebody who is not accepting from the government at face value what they're telling you. I might not even be necessarily against a politician, but if I see an issue or a policy that I think are worthy of a conversation, I'm going to bring it up.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's Morning News.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
On BritBox, your next hidden gem is right around the corner.
If you're going to be bold, here is the place to do it.
Get ready for Britain's most anticipated series, streaming exclusively on BritBox. Catch new seasons of favourites, including Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
You want someone to get murdered?
And the eagerly awaited new adaptation of Agatha Christie's iconic detective duo, Tommy and Tuppence.
Do you think we're actually really good at this?
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
My name is Jeff. I live in Northern California, and I am 65 years old, actually 65 and a half as of 2 days ago. I've been practicing medicine for 37 years. People have this impression that doctors know insurance, that they understand insurance. Let me assure you, they do not. Medicare is complex. It's really complex, and the government did not make it easy to understand. Chapter really helps you understand it. They talked me through what my options were, and then they helped me tailor-make a plan. One of the things that really impressed me with Chapter was the human touch element of it. I was not talking to an AI agent. I was talking to a real person who answered my questions. And not only that, but they remembered the particulars from our last conversation. They really weren't just being a representative, that they actually cared about me as a person. And that sounds cliche, but it makes all the difference in the world.
To learn more about how you can get free personalized Medicare advice, visit chapter.com today. Again, that's chapter.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. So much more than just physical and hand therapy, though, Shannon. You guys, holy smokes, do you have a lot of specialty care?
Yeah, Brock, we do. You know, obviously our nuts and bolts is good old musculoskeletal, but we have a lot of therapists that do advanced certifications in specialty care. And that's important because we can treat the whole population. We can treat your neighborhood. We can treat your family. And those specialty services range from neurovestibular care to dry needling, sports medicine, hand therapy, pelvic floor, vestibular rehab, lymphedema, you name it, we have that service. Again, we're about taking care of the whole family and the whole family's needs.
Remember, IRG, they're in your neighborhood. I'm talking over 40 locations and new additions in Wallingford and the WAC as well, that Washington Athletic Club. You can find them in person. You can find it online at irgpt.com. That is irgpt.com.
It's the Great Summer Sell-a-thon at the Spa Warehouse, and the deals are incredible. When the leaves turn and the temps fall, imagine sinking into your very own saltwater caldera spa. Bubbly, blissful warm water right in your own backyard. Our Summer Sell-a-thon means massive savings on in-stock models, so owning your dream hot tub is more affordable than ever. Plus, get interest-free financing through 2028. Visit today for the hot tub of your dreams. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A growing trade war between the U.S. and Canada brewing after talks collapsed. ABC's Rachel Scott says American and Canadian consumers, though, could end up paying the biggest price.
President Trump has now imposed a 50% tariff on $20 billion of Canadian goods. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says President Trump cannot be trusted.
President Trump is the type of person that would steal your lunch money the first day. He'd steal the toque off your head the second day. And the third day, he'd steal your running shoes.
Starting September 8th, Canada will impose a 50% tariff on U.S. goods. Everything from steel and dairy and clothes to plywood, alcohol, and electronics.
The U.S. announcing today countries doing business with Iran will face secondary sanctions. Iran responding, saying it will not change the blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. Louisiana's National Guard members have completed their 8-month-long service in New Orleans as part of the Trump administration's security mission on U.S. cities. This is ABC News. A mystery below the streets of New York City, some people spotted coming from manholes over the past few months. The latest incident, shown in a video posted to social media, captured several people coming out of a manhole near Penn Station. ABC's Aaron Katursky says police are investigating, saying they could be looking for treasures below or something else.
3 people in overalls emerging one by one, each wearing what appears to be a headlamp. Back in June, a group of men with flashlights and waders pried open a manhole cover in Queens, then slipped into the sewer. And 7 guys, some with headlamps and shovels, did the same thing in Brooklyn, dropping in one by one. And then they were climbing out of the sewer, one of them nearly run over by a car.
The governor of Indiana calling for an investigation into the power company. Thousands of residents and businesses in Gary are still without power for nearly 2 weeks following severe storms. The state utility company says it expects power to be fully restored by tomorrow. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Coming up, an arrest made after the death of a toddler in Seattle. Details after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. This report brought to us by Seattle Sports. Let's start in Tacoma, where we've got a brush fire. Fire crews are working this brush fire on the Port of Tacoma Road right near the tracks. Right now, the Port of Tacoma Road is closed between State Route 509 and Marshall Avenue near the water. Tacoma Fire says they expect this roadway to reopen at any moment, so hang in there if you're stuck in this traffic, which is backed up all the way to I-5. In Lacey, South 5 at Pacific Avenue, collision still blocks that left lane. We've got tows on scene, so hopefully this will be cleared soon. Meanwhile, we've got a 4-mile bumper-to-bumper backup starting near Cabela's, Tacoma to Olympia, plan on 45 minutes. Here in Seattle, South 5, you're going to jam up at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. North 5 is packed at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Another small backup as you approach 520. And South 405, slow from I-90 to Northeast 44th and Renton. Bellevue to South Center, plan on a half hour. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Amber Alert is now out for a 1-year-old girl with significant medical needs. The State Patrol says Elric Silema was abducted from Wenatchee, taken by 41-year-old Stephanie Gifford. We've put their pictures up at mynorthwest.com. The patrol says they may be headed to the Portland area in a dark gray 2006 Acura TSX. If you spot them, call 911. A Seattle woman now under arrest following the death of her 1-year-old boy. This happened yesterday afternoon inside an apartment near the South Grand Street and Rainer Avenue South in the Atlantic neighborhood. Detective Brian Pritchard says officers and medics found that child unresponsive.
Despite life-saving efforts, the Seattle Fire Department medics were unable to save the child's life, and the child was pronounced deceased at the scene.
Baby's mother was arrested for investigation of manslaughter. Detectives say narcotics may have been a contributing factor. The medical examiner will determine the exact cause of death. Flock cameras helped Enumclaw police track down a man suspected of killing 5 people in Oregon. That story from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hole.
Enumclaw police had been tipped that 36-year-old Benjamin Charles Parker might be headed their way. Sergeant Josh Bryan says officers checked the city's flock cameras, and there he was late Saturday.
We saw that he had hit a couple of our flock cameras last night, nothing today.
On Sunday, police found Parker dead by suicide in his pickup behind the Safeway on Roosevelt Avenue. Investigators still haven't said why he ended up in Enumclaw. Parker is suspected of killing 5 people near Forest Grove, Oregon, outside Portland. Investigators say Parker knew the victims. A motive remains unknown. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Celebration of Asian food and culture returns to Seattle Center this weekend. Panda Fest organizers say they are boosting security after the deadly shooting at the Bite of Seattle. Festival founder Bubu Zhu tells KIRO 7 TV you can expect bag checks and metal detection screening at every entrance.
Clients come to our events, they definitely want us to create a safe environment for them to enjoy the food and music.
Panda Fest runs Friday through Sunday. Now to your forecast, looking at clear skies this afternoon and sunshine with a little bit of upper-level haze from wildfire smoke also on the way. 70s and 80s today, warmer tomorrow. Could see some 90s out there. And then cooler for the rest of the week. Right now, 75 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 tiny little hour to go. I wish we had more time together today. We don't have enough time to get to all of our stories, so we're just going to jump right into it.
Please.
I didn't have a chance last hour. This is just a special little sneaking in of feeding time. Yours was a great sports one, which was fun, and mine is the opposite of that.
Okay.
So this is what was popping
Mariner
up. Mariner
highlight? What do you?
No. Oh man.
Sorry.
Jeez Louise.
Don't cry, Aaron. Come on. No.
Listen to this. I'm just going to read you this headline. This is from Polymarket. I'm just going to straight up read it. There's so many things about this. I'll have a lot of questions about this.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to ask the question before I read this to you. Why are they having a tough time finding this guy? Okay, this breaking. Tulsa police are hunting a, quote, serial defecator, unquote, accused of repeatedly smearing. Can we say feces? Are we allowed to say feces?
That's actually how we're required to say it.
Accused of repeatedly smearing feces on local businesses. Again, this is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. while wearing, this is the part, because I feel like if this description...
Is it a crow costume that you saw?
It's not a crow costume. No, it's not that guy. But this would be even easier to spot.
Okay.
A serial defecator smearing feces on local businesses while wearing only a thong, mask, and shower cap. And this is what my feeding time thinks that I'd be interested. And they're right. I'm very interested in that.
How many times have you watched the video?
There's no video associated with it.
God.
It's purely, it's just like,
Thank God.
It just leaves it to your imagination.
Oh, man.
But my question is like, I don't think of Tulsa as a massive town. And I also don't think of Tulsa as a town where you have a ton of people running around in thongs and shower caps, smearing feces on buildings. That probably is a pretty easy, I assume it's a guy. That probably is a pretty easy guy to identify. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I would think. I would think there's not a plethora of thong-wearing, shower-capped,
and a mask.
Brown-handed.
And a mask.
You know.
Oh.
Well, of course. Come on, that's what he's doing. He's giving the brown hand. It's a Yelp review, right?
This is awful.
You know, some cities have those little happy faces. This guy gives the business the brown hand.
Oh, jeez.
It's a service.
It's like a whole new type of a horrible review. You're right. Anyway, that's what popped up on my feeding time. Nothing about that I find appetizing in any way. And I hope they catch the guy very quickly. And I assume they will. That's a pretty good description.
Well,
it's a pretty good description.
If he's downwind of law enforcement,
Ugh.
he's got a chance to escape.
Follow your nose. All right, let's get to other stuff. Tease ahead to Billboard guy. Yes, 2:30, we're going to talk to this guy. He put up a sign. Is this on Aurora?
Aurora Avenue, 130th and Aurora. I can tell from the businesses, it's right adjacent to a car lot.
Some sort of a car lot?
Yeah.
Is there like a wavy guy? I don't see a wavy guy, but there probably is one at some point.
Yeah.
But the sign says, and the reason we reached out to this guy, it's very plain language. He says, would the last taxpayer to leave the Emerald City change the name to, in big letters, the Blue Tarp City of thieves, druggies, and shooters, paid for by V.A. Fleming. And then he gives his phone number, which is straight up how, Mike, you contact him via this number?
Yeah, I talked to him first thing this morning.
And he picked up right away?
It was about a half dozen rings.
Okay.
To the point where I thought it was just going to go to voicemail, but no. Then a nice, sweet retirement era person said hello, and I'm like, "Hi, is this VA Fleming?" Yes, it is. I was like, "Hi," and I told him who I was.
Did
and
he seem confused by the call because he didn't put his number on a billboard?
You're probably the first guy wasn't screaming at him, so
probably
know.
Maybe. Oh,
I was especially friendly.
Your friendliness confused him. He goes, wait a minute.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you ever thought of bus advertising, Mr. Fleming?
He's going to join us at 2:30 to talk about why he was inspired to put the sign up. And I'm very much looking forward to that conversation. A little bit of backstory. Seattle has another famous sign from 1971, would the last person to leave Seattle, please turn the lights off sign, which was actually done in jest, but has been kind of adopted over the last 40 years as what people were saying, like, oh, this is a real thing. People are really leaving Seattle. But the two guys that put it up were actually real estate agents who were being like tongue-in-cheek about the fact that Seattle, even though they had just lost a ton of people and Boeing had just laid off like 2/3 of their staff,
right,
that they were still able to sell homes in Seattle. So they put it up, and they had it up for about 15 days before they realized that the joke was not making its way through. And so it was no longer something I don't think that they were interested in at that point.
They couldn't afford the $135. Is that what you quoted?
$160.
$160 a month it took to put a billboard up.
Isn't that crazy?
In Seattle in those days.
I'm interested to find out from this guy.
Me too.
What it costs for a billboard, too. Because you know what? You know what else would be good on a billboard?
What?
Like a Jake and Spike Show sign.
It sure would.
That would be cool. Put us up there.
I was re-traumatized when I saw the story. Sidebar, I used to live on a billboard. You remember the story of the Sonic promotion we did?
You did.
Yeah.
Which was where again?
It was at Inner Bay, where the U-Haul store is, right next to the driving range at Inner Bay.
Yep.
Just south of the Magnolia over bridge and overpass right there. And
that was a big radio promoted
We did a
thing.
radio promotion to support the Supersonics. So they had lost to the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Championship Series, and we lived on that billboard while Phoenix played out its NBA Championship Series against Chicago. We were up there about, I think it was a good 11 days.
What was the bet? You had to stay up there until
the
Phoenix
team that beat
lost?
us was eliminated. Yeah.
Okay.
We beat a team from Sacramento that they lived on a billboard while we played Phoenix.
Was it the Kings? Or was that not the Kings?
No, it was the Kings at the time. Sacramento Kings played the Sonics and we beat them. So the Sacramento team lived on until we were eliminated against Phoenix. They came down. We went up on our perspective billboard here in Seattle.
Gotcha.
Had great viewing parties and listener support. It was wonderful.
Good food.
I can't imagine if I put a blue tent up on top of that billboard, I'd get favorable reviews from the neighbors. I'd probably be.
I don't know.
You know, if I was up there in support of Mr. Fleming,
I think you might if you were up there in support of him,
and I can report on human trafficking.
You could
drug
literally
deals,
just sit up on that sign
shootings
with some binoculars.
Yeah, and a camera.
And a camera.
And maybe help the police out. You know, a little bit of a scouting job.
You know who would not want your camera up there?
Who?
Katie Wilson. Oh. Speaking of Katie Wilson.
That was a pro segue, people.
Let's segue into this story about Katie Wilson, who says that she wants to speed up Vision Zero. Can you explain to the audience what Vision Zero is?
Vision Zero was initiated, I believe it was 2015. They were trying to eliminate pedestrian deaths in Seattle, a project that helped make visibility and physical barriers more prominent. Because I think
bikes and pedestrians.
Bikes, pedestrians. I think 80% of all pedestrian-involved accidents are major thoroughfares of 2 lanes each direction, 4 lanes or more.
Yeah,
and they're just trying to make people aware of people versus car. The human always loses that battle.
Yeah.
So that's safety. That's Vision Zero. That's the project. Katie Wilson's signed an executive order, I believe.
Yep.
And that's what was announced. Was it Saturday
yesterday?
Or Sunday? Sunday.
One of these days.
Yeah.
A couple days ago. In the last couple of days, let's say. She signed a big thing.
She signed an order on Friday.
And she wants to speed this Vision Zero up.
Yep, and the whole city council was there. Some community partners were there to unveil the executive order.
Let me play you a little bit of Katie Wilson talking about this.
We are not on track to eliminate serious injuries and fatalities by 2030. And we still see too many headlines, too many ghost bikes, too many families in mourning.
Ghost bikes?
Ghost bikes is what they put up. They'll put it up at the side of somebody who dies. They'll put up like a bike that's spray painted white to signify the death of the person who might have been riding at that location.
I got really confused about that also. Is that like ghost guns? Is it ghost trains? Too much ghost legislation.
Unregistered bikes without serial numbers?
It's not a serial numberless bike.
I don't mean to be disrespectful to people
No.
Because we make jokes, but
it's a legit question.
It is.
A lot of people don't know that. I was unaware of that until I saw a bunch of them, and I was like, what are those bikes? This is from. I want to ask you if this statement is true. This is from Council Member Alexis Mercedes Rink. She says 10 years ago, Seattle set a goal: 0 traffic deaths and 0 injuries by 2030. That goal was right, but too many of our neighbors are gone, and every one of those deaths was preventable.
Was it preventable? Is that what you're asking? If that's
do you think that's true? Every one of those deaths is preventable, or do we?
I want to say yeah.
Is there anything that you would caution them against this Vision Zero, or do you think it's a good idea and they should be full speed ahead?
Well, I think you're addressing half.
No pun intended, but
nicely done. I think you're addressing half the equation.
Which is what?
Which is it takes 2 to tangle with a car, if you'll pardon the pun.
Yeah.
As we roll down that road, you can make all the additions to marking, to lighting, to traffic signals, to dedicated bike lanes, to physical barriers of planters or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And you're only equating half the problem of drivers knowing where pedestrians will be.
Yeah.
Okay. The other half of this equation is distracted pedestrians, whether they be on foot or on bicycle.
Yeah, could be somebody walking across the road staring at a phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or bicycle or scooter riders who are cavalier about the rules of the road, because it's kind of a new, and if I may, I'm assuming here and I'm presuming here, that people on a bicycle in the city on a green line bike who are using these bicycle roads, who now have dedicated green lights. There are moments when there's nobody coming, but I got to wait for a green bike lane signal to turn before I can make a left turn on a dedicated lit intersection.
Yeah.
People who are oblivious to, we've been giving them all this help, all these opportunities to be a safe rider in the city, and they just blow right through them. They ignore the rules. And that leads to, every one of these incidents involving a car, if we can make sure drivers are more aware, we can make sure intersections and crosswalks and wherever not are safer and better designated and lit and painted and bordered. You're still going to have the equation is people not paying attention.
But I don't think they're trying to address that half of the equation.
I agree. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I think the problem with this, too, is I feel like they're saying that any means of restricting cars and getting rid of lanes to make them bus-only lanes or bike-only lanes or pedestrian lanes or weekend pedestrian-only lanes or whatever it is, no parking spaces.
Half the roadways, yeah.
Anything is justified if you're holding it up against the lens of we have to save these human lives. Now, I'm not arguing that you want more death. I don't want more death.
Of course not.
But we don't live in a risk-free society.
We don't.
We live in a society where like the city still has to function. And if you're telling me that like the goal is 0 across the board, there's no way to achieve that if you still have cars and people in the same space.
Well, and again, if you're only addressing half the issue, which is the car half,
yeah,
you want to make it zero. What's it called? Vision zero.
Vision zero.
How about this? How about every bicycle or scooter that you rent in this city is fitted with a smart technology
helmet?
Well, a helmet first
forces you to wear a helmet.
Bungee corded to the damn bike or scooter.
Yeah.
How about this? How about a sensor in the front? I mean, you can read my credit card. You can bill me until I stop riding and check out. You can get all that figured out. You can now, if you don't park it in a corral, part of this Vision Zero is corral safe spaces for scooters so they're off sidewalks and out of the street, whatnot. How about if you roll through a red light, your scooter stops?
That's tough because then you're stopping in the middle of a road.
The first time
how about you're just like charged a huge fine?
That'd be cool. Hit him in the pocketbook. That's always rule number one. Hit him in the pocketbook where they
because it could be tricky if you're literally stopping somebody from.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's
and you're
true.
in the middle of a lane.
But if you're renting a bike or a scooter and you get stopped because you violated traffic law, you would never do it again.
Well,
You'd learn.
Sure, but if you also had like at the end of your ride where you have to, like they send you a little receipt, or I don't know how it works. I've never actually rented one of those.
Your credit card gets billed.
Your credit card gets billed.
You've been billed $75 penalty for
$200 for driving like a dum-dum.
You ran through 2 red bike lights.
Yeah.
You didn't pause at 7 intersections. Your scooter ride today cost $173. Congratulations, dummy.
We have helmet laws in Washington. In Seattle, they have helmet laws. I never in my life, I don't think I can count on more than a handful of times, and I'm being generous, that I've ever seen somebody driving a Lime bike or a Lime scooter wearing a helmet. It's usually some guy flying down the road, oftentimes two people,
dummied up,
no helmets, not obeying the speed limit laws,
right?
Not even worried.
That's
a part to me that doesn't make any sense. Like, when does the self-preservation kick in? Like, there's a guy.
I think it takes a generation for Darwin's law to take effect.
Well,
we have thinned the herd of.
There's a guy who rides behind the building every single day when I'm parking. He's flying down the hill, and I know where he works because I see the outfit that he's wearing, and it's a very recognizable local eatery.
Okay.
And one of these days, I'm going to go in there, and he's not going to be at work because he's
going to still be on the sidewalk outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's flying down. He's riding on one of these scooters, and he's probably going. He's going max speed down a hill, oftentimes on rainy roads, with cars that are not watching,
right?
Because they're not expecting to see a scooter flying at you at like 35 miles an hour, and he doesn't have a helmet on. And I'm thinking to myself, like, and you've ridden these before. You have to sign something saying, I have a helmet.
If you don't sign, I have a helmet, they won't let you ride.
And yet,
that excuses them from any kind of liability because you told us you had a helmet there.
Yeah. And we have stories all the time.
Blink once for yes, blink twice for no.
Exactly. And we have stories all the time about how the bad head injuries are up like through the roof statistically.
You bet.
Bad deal. So I think that should be part of this zero traffic thing. If they're only talking about limiting cars to make it more safe for people, not cars, I totally agree with you. I think you're only getting half of the equation. And I actually think like that's probably the larger half of the equation, if I had to guess.
You're right. I think the ne'er-do-wells who aren't abiding by safety or road rules, they're probably causing more of this damage than the cars. Problem is, they're the ones that lose every battle with a car.
Yeah, it's your life.
I got a paint offender. You got to bury a loved one.
100%. All right, we got to switch to this story really fast because we're going to run out of time. In Gary, Indiana, and this is mostly just so we can play the song. In Gary, Indiana, they have lost power because they've had these severe storms. And think about this. Here's a resident who was talking about just getting very desperate. They have, at this point, when this audio was recorded in Gary, Indiana, these people have been without power for 10 days.
This is the second week now. So, we can be used to it, but it's not okay for us to be used to it. It's not okay for us to continually be in survival mode.
Which, Gary, Indiana, I've never been to Indiana, and I don't know much about Gary, Indiana, and when I think of it, I think of this.
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me well. Now, if you'd like to have a logical explanation.
Can you imagine?
Robert Preston.
Robert Preston. He's pretty good. Who was this co-star on that? What was her name?
Music Man?
Shelley.
Shelley Winters?
No,
she's a thin young Shelley Winters.
She's the mom in.
Shirley Jones.
Shirley Jones.
Oh, my first my first true love.
Was it really?
I got to tell you. I had the honor of meeting her.
Did you really?
She was promoting a movie. She was touring
cool.
a movie, and I had to confess to her. She was my first. I called it. I said,
don't say an inappropriate thing, but
I noticed the attractiveness of the physical form of females.
Sure.
Because of Shirley Jones.
You had a biological interest in Shirley Jones.
I did, and I understood why.
Yes.
I knew why I had that funny feeling.
Yeah.
And it was her, and I confessed it to her.
You said that to her?
Yeah.
She's like, can somebody please get this guy to back up?
I have an autograph from her from that day. And
how old was she at the time?
Oh, she was 70.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's like, she's probably feeling like, that's nice.
She's lived a life.
Been a while since I got one of those compliments.
Remember the movie Grandma's Boy?
Yes.
Remember that one? She was in that.
Was she in it?
Yes, she was. I forgot about that. She was in that, and she played a woman with a strong drive.
Yeah.
For a senior woman with a strong drive. So it was very appropriate that I made that confession to her.
Okay.
The great Shirley Jones.
She was I remember her in
lovely
Music Man.
Music Man.
Yeah.
Buxom is the word used. To describe the respectful word used.
For me, it was.
So why are we talking about? I'm sorry. No, let's talk about yours. It's fair.
Well, no, I got to meet. I had a childhood crush on. Do you remember Karen Allen?
Of course.
From Indiana Jones.
Of course.
And then she came in the station one day. I didn't even know she was coming in. I just turned around. Karen Allen is standing right there.
Oh.
I didn't tell her what you did about Shirley Jones.
She's always booning Katie. Katie from Animal House.
You're right. I didn't think about that.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.
She's just like kind of very girl next door.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Sweet lady. Very sweet lady.
What happened to Guy and Gary? Can we?
12 Days Without Power.
Was this guy trapped in a sign?
Well, no, that's a different story.
That's
a totally different story.
That
was an electrician trapped in a sign.
Right, because he was
he's all right
130
now.
Foot in the air.
He made it out.
But
he's fine. He's grateful.
Right? He's fine. But he thought he was going to die. It was very hot in there.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to talk. Speaking of signs, we're going to talk to a billboard guy next.
Dang,
You're not going to want to miss
impressive.
it. Yeah, it just worked out. Sometimes things just work out. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
Coming up tomorrow morning in Choke Points, you know that annoying car in front of you going way under the speed limit, but you can't pass? It's a 2-lane road. Why isn't that guy getting over? It's not like it's the law. Oh, yeah, it is. But you know what? There aren't any signs to tell that driver to do so. What are we doing? I'm here to help you out tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Hartley Wilcox here. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you are what you eat. And everyone knows eggs are an incredible source of natural protein and omega-3. But have you ever stopped to think about what the hens eat to make the eggs great tasting and even healthier to eat? At Wilcox Farms, we believe in nature-first nutrition. Our hens enjoy pasture access and a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. That means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for you and your family. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs, you're investing in real nutrition and real value. Because healthy hens make healthy eggs, and healthy eggs make healthy, happy families. So next time you're at the store, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Learn more at wilcoxfarms.com. Wilcox Farms, where better eggs begin with better care. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word, it was a way of life. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But aging has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why there's Longevity Medical Clinic. John Curley here. My best move was becoming a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic years ago, and second best move, getting my wife, Nicole, to join me this year. Stop guessing and start working with a doctor who knows your goals and get personalized care designed around you, not the average patient. Discover what's holding you back and what can help you thrive with longevity. Aging is natural, but some of the effects are undesirable, and you don't want to have to just accept it. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Get real answers about your health and get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know
what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix it.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
There's a place where the world feels quieter, where mornings rise over your own private lake and evenings settle across rolling land that's yours to explore. The Stillwater Ranch, over 1,300 acres in eastern Washington, offers luxury, privacy, and a life shaped by the land itself. A home built for comfort and a landscape built for legacy. This isn't just a property. It's where stories are lived and passed on. Discover the Stillwater Ranch at fayranches.com.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at Cars4Kids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. U.S. Supreme Court today cleared the way for President Trump to enforce his executive order restricting mail-in ballots just ahead of the midterms. This order bars the Postal Service from delivering mail ballots unless states first hand over voter data to the federal government. Here in Washington, the Secretary of State and Attorney General fought that order in court. They have said the state will keep challenging the ruling. We have reached out to the Secretary of State's office for comments. A trade war heating up between the U.S. and Canada after negotiations broke down. Vice President J.D. Vance was asked about it during a media briefing today in Maine.
I think that we need to send a message loud and clear to the Prime Minister of Canada. Stop taking advantage of the people of Maine. Stop taking advantage of America. It's over. We expect fairness in our trade policy.
U.S. announced it is imposing 50% tariffs on $20 billion in Canadian goods. Canada has promised retaliation. A major Washington trade group says more than 500,000 Northwest jobs are now caught up in the middle. The Washington Council on International Trade says Canada is not a rival, noting the country is one of our region's largest export markets. Washington's cattle ranchers are slamming President Trump's move to import tariff-free ground beef. President posted this deal last week, promising beef prices 25% below current market rates. But Jack Field with the Washington Cattle Feeders Association says the White House got this one wrong.
We want to empower our industry here right at home and make sure that we've got opportunities for our local producers to grow and expand and continue to provide that high quality beef, not a knee jerk that could further cause local demand to face challenges.
The domestic cattle herd is already at a 75-year low. Field argues the move undercuts ranchers with cheap foreign beef. Tacoma firefighters have now put out that brush fire that closed Port of Tacoma Road this afternoon. Chelsea Shepard with the fire department says a passing train started it.
The idea that it was simply a train going down the train track, and that was enough that, whatever was going on with that train, that was enough to at least spark the dry brush that was in that little 10-foot median for a quarter mile.
Port of Tacoma Road had to be shut down for some time between Highway 509 and Marshall Avenue. Now for real-time traffic at 2:33, we check in with Nate Connors.
All right, thanks, Aaron. And just to confirm that section of roadway has since reopened. Your Seattle Mariners bring you this update. Nothing out of the ordinary happening so far this afternoon. Everett to Marysville, just over a 10-minute commute. South 5 were heavy from the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. North 5 are heavy at the West Seattle Bridge of the Columbia Tower. You'll break free. And then that other backup approaching the Ship Canal Bridge starting near Mercer, about 20 minutes to get through all this. South 405 heavy from Southeast 8th and Bellevue to Cold Creek Parkway, and then you'll thin out. Bellevue to South Center at 25 minutes. Southbound 167, we're filling in south of State Route 18. And in Lacey, we finally cleared that long-term crash. South 5 at Pacific Avenue, still dealing with scattered backups from Cabela's to Pacific, Tacoma to Olympia, about 45 minutes. Your Seattle Mariners bring you this report, and don't miss out on fireworks nights presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Sing-Along Show, September 4th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to your forecast. We're looking at clear skies with a little bit of wildfire haze out there as well this afternoon. Clearing out by tomorrow night. Tomorrow's a hot day, too, with highs in the upper 80s and potentially low 90s. Right now, 75 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Very excited to talk with this guy. I got a lot of questions, so we're going to get him on the show right now. His name is V.A. Fleming. At least that's what it says on the billboard that he put up and included his phone number on. V.A., welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Name is, in fact, Victor.
Your name?
I just thought V.A.
Your name is Victor?
I guess that's her. Could you tell me, I hope you don't mind, if you don't want to share for personal reasons, I appreciate that, but you did give the city your phone number. What's your middle name?
Why do you need that?
Well, because what did I guess, by the way? Hold on a second. What did I guess? What was my guess?
Hang on a second, Mr. Fleming, please.
Victor.
No, you said, I think you may have said Vincent. We can go back and play the tape. But the last name Fleming I deem to be an English name of an English origin, if I may assume about you, good sir.
Well, it's Scottish and Welsh.
There you go. Okay.
All right.
And that gave me Victor. Or did I say Vincent?
I don't know. We can let the audience.
I guess Albert. I guess Albert is your middle name.
All right. Victor, you put up a sign, and this is near Aurora. You put up a sign. I'm going to read this to the audience.
And we're really burying the lead of the story.
Yeah,
here.
we got a lot of questions. Your sign says, "Would the last taxpayer to leave the Emerald City change the name to the Blue Tarp City of thieves, druggies, and shooters?" You said, and then it says, "Paid for by V.A. Fleming," and then it gives your phone number. Now, yes. V.A., tell us what inspired you to put the sign up.
I guess the exasperation, would be the proper word.
Have you been a longtime resident of that area?
Let's see. I moved here to 115th and Aurora in 1955.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'd say yes.
The answer would be, of course, yes. But
what is it?
I want to know.
What does it look like to you right now? I mean, paint me a little picture of 1955 Aurora, because it feels to me like the beginning of what's that movie Tom Hanks did, where they're all like, it's a singing group, and everybody's so nice, and they're all just
that thing you do,
the thing you do!
Exclamation point.
That's what I think it was like. Yeah. Am I wrong?
Well, that's a bit of a blue sky, but no. I moved here. My dad was in the Navy. Okay, we moved here in a trailer, and there was a trailer park at 115th and Aurora. And then after a while. We moved over to 105th to 15th Northeast and 135th. We bought a home. And we moved in and out of the country, the area, Rhode Island, Florida. But this was basically our home. I went to the service in 1962. I got
What
out.
branch?
Air Force.
Awesome. Thank you for your service.
I'm a disabled veteran. I took my SWATs and didn't, and I did a lot of stuff in my life that I'm not necessarily proud of.
Sure, you've lived a full life, VA. It sounds like you've lived a full life.
Yeah,
but
call me Vic, will you? Or Victor?
Vic, you bet, Vic.
Victor, yeah, Vic. Happy to call you Vic.
I love it.
Vic, when did this sign go up?
A week and a half ago.
And you just reached a desperation point where you just said, I gotta express myself because what, the city's not hearing you? What's?
Yeah, I've tried calling the mayor's office. I've tried calling. No, let me understand one thing, okay?
Sure.
I'm disabled. I have lung cancer. I have prostate cancer, and I'm not able to go down to these meetings and scream at these people in public.
Yeah.
So I try calling them on the phone, and I get some person or a AI that says, "Well, we'll call you back," but they never seem to, particularly when they find out that what I want to talk about isn't pleasant for them.
Yeah, when your call is a complaint, they don't want to hear it.
No, they don't want to hear it.
So you contacted what, a billboard company? How'd you come up with this billboard idea?
Well, this goes back about a long time ago. Back in the 70s, I was in love with a girl, and I put up a billboard to tell her so. And that was, and then I remember Seattle was the last person to leave Seattle, turn out the lights.
Sure, yeah. Oh, I love this guy. Hey, Vic, I got sidebar. Did that work?
I was just going to say, yeah.
Did it work?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good for you.
Good man.
Billboards work. I mean, as far as advertising
goes, that just gives me so much hope for this effort. This effort, Vic, feels like just, again, your exasperation about a city that you miss, that isn't responding to your needs. And we see so much of that these days, with whether it's people putting up personal barricades, to stop shootings in their neighborhood,
gang wars.
Or the owner of Dunn Lumber who was trying to address the tragedy of human trafficking on Aurora Avenue. And this billboard, I hope, is going to get the city's attention. We're going to try to help you do that and amplify the message you felt you need to put out there.
What kind of response have you been getting, Vic?
I have probably gotten, after I put it on with a guy named Jason Cho. He apparently saw it and came out and interviewed me. And he put it on his program. And since then, I've gotten more calls. And then I got a call from you guys. So I would say I've probably gotten close to 100 calls or messages. I don't do emails. I'm
sure.
We understand.
Emails are tough. I hate emails too. Well, Vic,
it's not that. It's just I've got nothing but a flip phone. I use phones.
You're smart. You're not dialed in. You're trying to go off grid a little bit,
buddy.
I like that. No, I think that's smart. Vic, I think the sign is getting the reason that I clicked on your thing is because what you put up here on the sign is, I have heard this from countless people, how they feel about living specifically in the area that you're talking about. It feels like the city is just like happy to ignore these very real problems that you guys are watching right outside your front windows every day.
Well, that's putting it mildly. They say, one guy called me this morning, and I spent an hour talking with him, and he says, well, instead of spending $3,000 on a sign, why don't you put up a fence? And I said, I shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Put up a fence? How's that? Oh. To me, that's selfish, putting up a fence. Put up a sign, you speaking up for the entire city that you care about.
Well, anyway, I'm just saying that put up another.
Vic, that's okay, sir. Veteran, we appreciate your passion, my friend. We caught that. We've got.
It's nothing but fences.
I hear you, sir.
Hey, Vic, we really appreciate your time. If you guys want to see the sign, you can check it out. I mean, just look up the Blue Tarp City sign. You're going to see it. We'll try to link to it as well.
I'm sorry for the F-bomb.
That's what passions speak loudly,
That's why we
sir.
got the dump button, Vic.
Yeah.
Hey, Vic, we appreciate your time, man, and we hope we know that the response is pretty across the board. It seems like it's pretty supportive of what you're saying. So I hope the message gets out there, and we're happy to help highlight it. Thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
All right, sir. Be well, my friend.
Yeah, and good luck with him against all his fights. My goodness.
Mike, thanks for getting him on. Let's see
good
this number.
stuff. All right.
I want to see if we can't help him keep that message going. $3,000 left.
Well, you know how to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
Is that how much? Was it $3,000?
What, $3,000 a month? Yeah.
Sounds like money well spent.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Last call. Your text message is next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from The G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
It's the Great Summer Sell-a-thon at the Spa Warehouse, and the deals are incredible. When the leaves turn and the temps fall, imagine sinking into your very own saltwater caldera spa. Bubbly, blissful warm water right in your own backyard. Our Summer Sell-a-thon means massive savings on in-stock models, so owning your dream hot tub is more affordable than ever. Plus, get interest-free financing through 2028. Visit today for the hot tub of your dreams. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
Guys, if you have low energy or reduced drive, it could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, start with a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com.
Looking for a
simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
Nothing worse than clutter. With Closets by Design, everything will finally have its place. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Closet.byDesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor.
Are you planning an event this summer? Make it unforgettable at T-Mobile Park. Mariners suites and group tickets are perfect for any occasion. Fundraisers, school outings, work parties, family celebrations, and more. Enjoy customizable catering, flexible setups for 14 to 400 people, and epic game day views, all with the help of a dedicated Mariners rep. Get ahead and start planning your event today at mariners.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Man, lots of great stuff today. Vic was a fun guy. If you guys missed that conversation about the billboard he put up, you should download the podcast. Check that out. All right, speaking of the billboard, let's start on that one, Spike, from Fernando in Seattle.
Fernando in Seattle says, so Seattle has been dying since the mid-'70s?
Well, I mean, the sign in the 70s was tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
They were saying it wasn't actually dying. Although, it's interesting that it struck a chord with so many people.
Well, the cause of death has gotten a little more in our face, hasn't it?
I mean, yeah.
Businesses leaving is one thing, but crime and drugs and businesses leaving?
On corporate taxes, which we had a spirited discussion about, which is a lot of fun, Matthew in Tacoma says, check out what the corporate tax rate was before Reagan's administration. You will be surprised and amazed. Thank you, Matthew. I will.
Bubba says, data centers, right what is the major concern presented? Water? LOL. Using all that water, that is still water after it cools the server farm. Probably cleaner when it gets put back into the environment. Water doesn't get used. Matter can either be created or destroyed. Bubba, do us all a favor, buddy. Do a little bit of research, because the sludge that comes out of the water of a cooling center is not back into the environment and reusable.
I'm 100 with Bubba on this one.
Oh, dude, read a little more, please.
You read a little more.
I'll read a little more. Okay, come.
You're reading old-fashioned data centers from back in the day. The new data centers, closed-loop system, beautiful.
The water sludges up when it cools that system and then is disposed of.
Do you have a problem with golf courses?
Tons.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
Golf courses and cemeteries, biggest waste of prime real estate.
Do you have a problem with restaurants?
I'm quoting Al Chervik from Caddyshack.
Oh, okay.
Golf courses, cemeteries, biggest waste of real estate.
Data centers all day. I want data centers all day.
All right, moving on.
253, I'm a corporate tax employee of a big public corporation. Bonus depreciation doesn't dictate capital spending year to year at all. In fact, most corporate tax professionals would like to see it go away, except the fact it's job security. From 253. Very interesting.
Dinah and Everett says the corporate tax breaks that big corporations get are from the federal government, and those tax breaks are different cause factor in our
direct cause factor.
Our direct cause factor, thank you, in our growing federal deficit. B&O taxes are a state tax.
Yeah, we weren't actually talking about B&O. Oh, we talked about B&O taxes with Seattle Times.
Yeah, you mentioned B&O
That's true.
as a comparison.
And I was doing that as a comparison of Seattle Times writing an article about the Microsoft Corporation, who they say basically is getting unfair tax breaks. Well, at the same time, they get no B&O taxes locally because they talk to local legislators who wrote that into law that they don't have to pay B&O taxes because their business is almost gone. Is that basically the idea?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Let's move into the fun stuff. 49ers coach
Get to it.
caught.
Prostitution
49ers
rings.
coach arrested in a prostitution bust. Dennis in the 253 says, is that a knife in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? I think when you go to a trailer park to solicit prostitution, you better be having a knife in your pocket. But that's just what I would do.
Let's see. Dennis in Arlington says, if it was prostitution, the illegal tool he might have possessed was... No, I don't think so. We're not going to say that.
We're not
Prophylactic.
saying that. Yeah,
How about
that?
seriously. That seems
But
like...
he was not the only one. The only reason I included that is because a half a dozen folks use that same prophylactic example.
Well, that's not
Interesting.
an
If you're planning on using a prophylactic in the commission of a crime, is that a tool of crime? The prophylactic? Interesting.
Imagine.
Criminal tools.
How do you establish intent? I mean,
Intent matters.
Yeah.
We learn.
I think when you pull into the trailer park, you're establishing intent. That's just me. All right, on the hunt for Red October, Goodfellas says...
The burden of proof on the prosecution's very high for that. Did he have it on? I don't know. On him?
Since
On his
high
person?
school.
That's what I mean.
On him. There.
All right, move along.
Yeah.
Move along.
Goodfellas says, on the hunt for Red October, we're required to read the book, The Hunt for Red October. You have good taste in movies, Jake. My kids were middle and high school, and it was the first and only R-rated movie I allowed them to see.
Thank you,
It's
Goodfellas.
a classic. Come on.
I got to say, so I read that book, Tom Clancy book. It's his first Jack Ryan novel in the long, very successful Jack Ryan series. I read that Hunt for Red October novel years ago, and I just, 2 months ago, reread it because that Jack Ryan series on Prime. And I was like, I'm going to dip back into this book. It is so good.
Holds up, man.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you're in that, the movie, because movies are, obviously they are constrained by time. And books can be very, very long. There's so much stuff that they had to leave out for the movie.
I've never read the book.
It's so good. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend
Hey, let's really quickly, I want to get back. We had our question of the day was, is the money invested in light rail worth it? And we have two.
Do it.
We have polar opposite points of view, and I want to recognize that.
Okay.
360 says light rail is the biggest scam in Washington State history. It's nice living in Skagit County because we don't have to pay towards that scam. And then Fernando, on the same topic, says, Fernando in Seattle, it's a total boondoggle now, but in the long term, it's going to be worth every cent. People are going to wonder what the fuzz was all about. At one point, I-5, the 99 tunnel, the stadiums were all boondoggles. Now we couldn't live without them.
Hard disagree. I love Fernando. He texts in all the time, but 98% of us use the roads. 2% of us use the trains. So the idea that it's a boondoggle on the same level is just, I 100% disagree with that. But I do love the text messages. Thank you guys so much. We love the last call. It's a ton of fun. You know what else is a ton of fun? John Curley. He's coming up next. He's back. He's back, people.
Rested, he's ready.
We're very excited
Got a
he's
lot
back
to
in the
say.
building. We can't wait. I'm going to rush out of here. I'm going to jump in my car. And I'm going to tune on the John Curley Show. You guys should as well. But we will be back tomorrow, and we'll see you then. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Charlie Harger.
I want to be a watchdog.
From Seattle's Morning News.
Somebody who is not accepting from the government at face value what they're telling you. I might not even be necessarily against a politician, but if I see an issue or a policy that I think are worthy of a conversation, I'm going to bring it up.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's Morning News.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow. My fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue, with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
Hello, sweltering Seattle. John Curley here. Is your home staying cool? Are you losing sleep because it's just too hot? At Home Comfort Alliance, the goal is not to sell you a new system. It's to fix the one that you have. Repair first, replace only if it truly makes sense, saving you time and money. If your system's done, a heat pump gives you both cooling and heating for year-round comfort. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance. John is a national champion ping pong player.
My greatest claim to fame is an actor who portrayed the Chinese national champion that played Forrest Gump. I played him in a national tournament and I actually beat him.
Competing at that level takes precision and healthy shoulders. But after years of wear and tear, he was dealing with a serious shoulder injury.
I had a slap tear. Success rate for the surgery was only about 15%.
Instead of surgery, he chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experience in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The next day, I was pretty much 100%. I was pain-free. I had problems with my shoulder for 20 or 30 years.
And have you been able to compete again?
I won a national title 6 months after the procedure. My shoulder's like I'm an 18-year-old.
So whether